A very Merry Christmas to Chat with Chaps family. Hope you have a great one.
Hello, Mill fans. Paul Eiffel here. It's time for Chat with Chaps.
Good evening and welcome to the Chat with Chaps live show. I'm your host, Joe Zampa, and today for the Christmas special, we've got a fantastic show prepared for you. You can see by all these lovely faces on the screen, only faces a mother would like, love, of course. And we've got a fantastic guest coming up. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but there's some ex-Millwall players going to be jumping on and some associated Millwall people as well. So it'd be really, really good for you to like and subscribe. If you haven't done so already, please, guys. So first of all, I want to introduce our founder, Chris Chapman. How you doing, Chris? You good?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm absolutely buzzing to be here. Christmas Eve to spend my time with all of you fine folk, and lots of very exciting bits and pieces that are going to happen tonight.
Great stuff. And we'll come back to you in a second before we start the show, because I know you've got a smaller announcement you want to make, didn't you, at the beginning. And next is the lovely Beex. How you doing, Beex? You good?
Yes, I'm very good, thank you. I'm looking forward to this. It's lovely to see lots of Christmas hats.
Love that. Glad you made an effort, all Shazammed up. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. And all that. Yeah. Love it. Good stuff. And it's a pleasure to have TT and his son, Zach, from the Drive Home. How you doing, guys? You good?
Good, thank you.
Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas. Thanks for being with us. And next to yourself is, it's like Blacky Blank, this, isn't it, at the moment? Next to you is TikTok George. How you doing, George? I like you making a bit of an effort.
I've made an effort, yeah, last minute effort. But yeah, pleasure to be here as always. And Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Lovely. Cheers, George. And next to yourself is the one and only Disco Steve. How you doing, Disco?
Evening, Joe. Navish Navada, everyone.
I love that. I love that song.
And
That's
can I
my favourite one.
Can I just say, why has Bex got my top on? That's what I normally wear to the disco, Bex. So,
do you?
I'll
have that back at the next
you can have it back.
home game, please.
Didn't know where you're going with that. I thought you'd sort of give away your weekend secrets, Disco.
It's like this at weekends.
That's it. And last but certainly not least is lovely Phil Clark. How you doing, Phil? You good? Oh, Phil's got a bit of a bad...
Yeah, really well, thank you. Excited to be here tonight for the Christmas special.
Fantastic, brilliant. That's your one appearance in the live show that he puts himself down for. See, even Phil Clark is not a bar humbug. At least he'll come on at Christmas, at least, which I love that. Guys, we've got the first guest going to come on in about 7-8 minutes, hopefully, if he manages to get on. But before we do, I'm going to hand you over to Chris, and Chris got a few words to say before we actually start the show.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. And first and foremost, thank you to all of you guys that have come on and joined us tonight. We're in for a fantastic show, and I think ultimately this is why we're here. We're here just to have a laugh, have fun, and raise money for charity. And we've been really successful in doing that this year. So the first thing that I want to announce is just how much thus far the Chat with Chaps family has raised. And whether you have contributed by listening to a show, commenting, telling your friend about it in the pub, coming on as a guest, donating money, whatever it is, you have contributed to the amount I'm about to show. And it makes me very humbled and proud to share that our total as of this morning, which will continue to rise, we have aims and ambitions for this year, is a whopping £18,290 and 90 pence.
Well done, guys.
And everyone deserves a massive round of applause because that is a serious number.
Brilliant.
And I just can't thank every single person that's contributed to that enough. Just another little graphic. Now, this one, before I put it up, I want to caveat two things. Number one, I couldn't fit all names on there, so apologies if your name isn't on there. Number two, Adobe's AI is not great, so I think there's some misspelling along the way. So Yeah, it's not ChatGPT I'm blaming for once. But just a massive thank you to everyone who has donated so far this season. There's loads of names on there. If your name's not on there, I'm really sorry. I'm going to blame AI. But there are kind of 6 areas that I want to call out specifically. So our sponsor, Spectrum VR, massive thank you to you. Nick Callahan, you know why, mate. A massive thank you to you for everything you do. Jeff Chandler, not only do you donate, but you also produce the wonderful jingles that we put at the start of the show. So a massive thank you to you.
Well,
Roz, you chose to include us in your hen do last Saturday. Shame about the result, but a fantastic outcome, and really looking forward to your wedding. I'm not going to be there, but I'm really looking forward to you having your wedding in a couple of.
Is that a hint? Is that a hint there, Chris?
No comment.
Where's the invite, Roz?
Yeah. Dennis Hill, a massive thank you to you, mate. Some very kind donations throughout the year. And then John MFC, last but certainly no means least. What you continue to do for this channel is mind-blowing. And it honestly gets me quite emotional about the effort and the things that you put in. So a massive thank you to everyone. And, I mean, there's another £50 coming just there. I mean, wow, what a guy.
Amazing. Well done, John.
And then last but no means least is you guys. Paul, Jesper, Stephen, Phil, Ben, George, Disco, Joseph, Beex, every single person, Dan Marsh, every single person that's part of the Chat with Chaps family, and our special guests that we've had throughout the year, like TT and Zach. Just a huge thank you. None of this happens without you. This is an amazing achievement, and let's just go on and enjoy the rest of the show. Thanks, Joe.
Brilliant. Love that. Cheers to that, Chris. Thank you so much. And thank you to our listeners. Again, this show wouldn't be going if it wasn't for you guys. And we do appreciate all the likes and subscribe and all the donations as well. We've probably got about 5 minutes until our first guest comes in. So before we do that, I just want to hand you over to TT and Zach. Guys, how's the drive homes going at the moment? When's TT? You're going to be handing the steering wheel over to Zach. Are we far away from that happening yet?
Well, until I can drive, basically, and then I'll be driving them over to all the games, and we'll be enjoying the drive home the opposite way round. But
that would be a moment, and it's TT be on the beers and get a drive home
in the car. You know it's coming.
Saliva pouring out of his mouth like that. Take me home, Zach.
We've done a couple in the we've done one in a Blackpool hotel after we beat them 3-2 and it obviously we weren't driving, but we were in the hotel and it was after a night
karaoke that night.
It was in the Blackpool pub and we stayed above it and I got absolutely I was not in the best of shapes, but I don't condone doing it and driving. I must make that perfectly clear. But he's only 14. So we've got a few more years to. It doesn't look 14, but we've only got 14.
Big lad,
so a few more years before he can drive us home. But we've had a few good away games this year. When you think about it, so to the drive home, we've had Norwich, QPR. Although we didn't get the car to that. Where else did we win?
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United. Games that we don't normally win away from home. We've had a few good victories. So the drive home from away games has been pretty decent.
To be fair, Bristol City was actually my favourite. Norwich just below that, but Bristol City was incredible. I've been there 3 or 4 times now, and I've not seen us win. So
we got to Bristol so early that we had a few beers in the pub before. So we had so long before we was driving, and it was a really nice local pub in Bristol. And the people went, and to be fair, we were surrounded by, and it's one thing you really notice that whenever you go away with Millwall, that where you go and you see so many people in replica shirts or replica colours, and you just don't see that with us. Even if you go to any home pub before the game, you just never see. You like even if you go to Harry's bar before the game, you would never know that it's actually a football related.
You'd see a lot more of that, and you see a lot of Millwall badge.
Any Christmas jumpers, Millwall Christmas jumpers there?
In Harry's bar? No, we've got that on brand tonight with you chaps, and Magic's done it as well. So you've raided the.
They've had their time. They've had their time. They've run out. I guess far too. Yeah.
Joe, whilst they were waiting for them to come back in, I just want to plug. Later on tonight, Mr. Paul Eiffel will be joining us to share a very special announcement. And that is something that I think everyone should sort of try and stick around for where possible. So brace yourself.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Sorry, TT, we just lost you there, mate, and not quite sure what happened. Just cut off, sadly. But just go over to Phil. Phil Clark, how are you doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, really well, thank you. All good. Looking forward to all the guests tonight. There's a lot of work you put in here, Joe. It's very impressive. Round of applause for Joe, everyone.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much. I say I enjoy. I didn't enjoy. That'd be a lie if I said I enjoyed it. It's really stressful, really hard work, but I just hope it's all worth it come the end of the show. So I'm hoping our first guest does arrive. He's not through the door. He's not in the green room just yet. He's got about a minute to go before he enters. So I do hope and pray he comes through. But in the meantime, we've got to kill a few minutes. So I'm going to move it over to George. George, a few words from you, mate. How you felt the season's gone for Millwall so far? George? As you see, George is in shock about how well we're doing at the moment. And when George is in this much shock, I tend to kind of move over to Disco Steve. Disco.
Can I just say, this is normally your internet connection.
Absolutely, yeah. Listen, Joe, I think in a nutshell, just sorry butting in here, George. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster in a way, hasn't it? I mean, we've been on here several weeks and saying it's a great time to be a Millwall fan, and it is, and it remains to be so. But Jesus, we've had some ups and downs along the way as well, and injuries, etc., etc. And probably one of the biggest, I must admit, like Angelo's analysis the other night, Saturday was a real kick in the balls, excuse my French specs. But that I felt that really hurt Blackburn. It was, I know they're a bit of a bogey team, but it hurt. But I don't want to be negative. Overall, we're 6th in the league. If you'd have asked for that at the beginning of the season, I'd have snatched your hand off. And I think we're only going to get stronger as the season goes on. Injuries permitting and good signings, hopefully.
Good stuff. Cheers. Thanks for that, Disco. And your Bex to yourself as well. How do you think our season's going so far? We hit the halfway stage. Are you happy? You feeling positive how things are despite all the injuries?
Yeah, do you know what? I think to be sixth at this time of the year is a miracle. So I'm really happy, despite the injuries, despite the bumps in the road that we've had. I just think we're just being very typical Millwall anyway with that. They give us the highs, they give us the lows. So yeah, do you know what? I'm happy. If we get through these next few games, it will be a Christmas miracle without any injuries and actually without letting any goals. So yeah, I'm happy. It's Christmas. What more can we want?
Okay.
Joe, we've had a couple of donations, mate. I just want to call them out if that's all right. So Steve Donovan, I believe that is Paul's much better looking, more talented, more successful brother. So a massive thank you to you for donating, mate. Top man, legend. And also Aldo Meza. Now, I don't think this is Aldo as in Alex Aldridge. I mean, he could be. Who knows? I know he moved somewhere that way. But thank you very much, my friend, for donating. And
you should have done it in Spanish.
You should have.
So, muchos gracias por su contribución, porfa. Gracias.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
very good. Very good.
Can do
sure
it.
That requires another donation. Sure.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Otra, por favor, otra.
Wow, bloody hell. Love that. Right, so our special guest is going to log his own a few sort of technical problems at the moment. So apologies for that, but hopefully he'll get that sorted very, very, very soon. Guys, in the chat, I'm so sorry that I haven't said hello to you guys. Normally, like as a rule, I like to welcome you to the show, but we've got so much going on today, so you can appreciate I haven't got a chance to say hello, but we can see you all there. We've got over 163 of you in the room at the moment, so I do really appreciate it, and we do thank you for the likes and the shares every week. We're becoming one of the most popular live shows at the moment. We're getting well over like 1,400 views just on a live sometimes, which is incredible. It really is. I can't believe you guys are willing to sort of sit yourself through listen to us for the next sort of hour or two, but we do appreciate it. Right, so I've got the first guest coming through. Right, if the guest can hear me, I think there's a few issues. It says with your device not connecting. Could it be your mic or your cam? Maybe. I suggest maybe try and do it with your phone again, like earlier, if you could hear me.
I don't think he ever played Cam.
Say again, sorry, mate.
I said I don't think he ever played Cam. Did you say?
No.
No. You're so intent on getting it right that you got you. Everyone else got it. You didn't get it. I
know. Right. So I could see our guest. He did come in, and he's kind of popped out. So I think he's going to come back in again in a second. Right. He just messaged me. So Chris, can you just keep things going for a second while I message him?
Mate. Always. Another thing that I wanted to sort of share is, obviously, you see a lot of people on the lives throughout the weeks. Sometimes Disco will be there, sometimes Joe, sometimes Jesper will be there. Once every 3 years, Paul will turn up. Then you'll have Ben, Stephen. One person that's not often on there, but is a huge contributor in the background, is Mr. Phil Clark. So I don't want to embarrass you, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
But you do a lot for this podcast, mate, in the background. And you will do a lot in the next 6 months when we make our announcement. But mate, I just want to say a massive thank you, because there's a lot of things that go on in the background that people don't know. So for the likes of you, just want to also thank you, and get a shirt that fits next time if you can as well.
And an internet connection.
Right.
Guys,
Guys, hush. We got our first guest coming through. So guys, here we go. We're kicking things off properly now. Our first guest tonight scored what many Millwall fans still call the greatest goal ever scored at Wembley. A moment that froze Lions fans for many, many years. Please welcome the one and only Gary Alexander.
Good evening.
How you doing, Gary? You all right?
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
Merry Christmas. How
Merry
you doing?
Christmas to you. Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. I'm just out celebrating Christmas. I'm just having a beer, so yeah, I'm good.
Oh, bless you. Cheers for coming on. I do appreciate it. It's a bit of lastminute.com, weren't it? And the idea of this evening is have as many ex-Millwall players as possible. Just gives a 10-minute sort of cameo if your time. Just talk about some good times and what you're up to at the moment. So really, at this point, what you're doing at the moment, what you're currently up to, as not physically now, but as in work life, that sort of thing.
Work life busy. I've just set up a chauffeur company, so that's been going well. Started in May. Started in May. So just building a client base at the minute, and I've been pretty busy the last. Alexander Owen chauffeurs. Owen chauffeurs.
Remember that, guys. We'll put that in the comments afterwards, won't we, Chris?
Yeah. There is I'm on Instagram and at Alexander Owen chauffeurs. So anyone wants to follow or needs anything, then just get in touch. But I've been pretty busy. As I said, I've been moving the darts players around and stuff. So I've had some good people in the car. Yeah, so it's been a busy time. Yeah, so it's nice to get a little bit of time off.
Fantastic, excellent. Guys, was it TT and Zach? Did you have a question for Gary? Because we did have. Sorry, George, you're back now. George, you got a question for Gary, ain't you? Do you want to go first?
Yes, sure. Yeah, Gary, thanks for coming on, mate. Pleasure to meet you. So you obviously understand Millwall as a club and the fans and just how hostile the Den can be. But reminiscing on your playing days, can you remember like a specific game where the Den was at its hostile best and where, the crowd was on top? And is there any memories which come to mind of a team coming down to the Den and just getting swallowed to bits by the intimidating atmosphere?
I think if you look back to the seasons we had in the playoffs and you look at games like Huddersfield, whenever Leeds visited the Den, it was always a sellout crowd. And I think the noise the night we beat Huddersfield, did we beat 3-1 in the playoff?
2-0. Was it 2-0?
Was it 2-0? My memory's going as I get older, but it's like games like that. As I said, I don't think I've heard an atmosphere like it. And as I said, when Leeds always did it, it was always hostile, but Millwall fans made it tough for them. And I don't think whilst I was there, we actually lost to Leeds, so that was pretty good. And as I said, again, that was with the Millwall fans helping.
The good old days, eh? Anyone want to go next for a question? Have you got anything lined up, have you?
Oh, that's a really good question in the chat. We'll just get there from Stuart.
Hobbsy.
So, Gary, Yeah, so Stuart, live on Twitter or X, wants to ask you, what was better for you, mate? Was it scoring that goal at Wembley or seeing George come on away at Wigan?
Probably brought a tear to my eye seeing George come on away at Wigan. Obviously, it was his dream, and to have a father-son play for Millwall was fantastic. For me, look, it's obviously something I can look back on as a goal, but for me, as a centre forward, it's a goal's a goal, But seeing my son make his debut in the Championship was something I'll never forget, and hopefully one day he can get back up there,
Love it, brilliant. Sorry, TT, do you have a question? Sorry, mate.
No, just one. Obviously, his son's slightly more talented, so he needs to step up his game a little bit. We're only talking about him learning to drive, never mind kick a football around.
I know it soon happens, doesn't it, Gary? Before you know it, they're up there and they're towering over you, aren't they?
It does. It soon happens, and as like you said, he is probably more talented than me. Like he's technically a better footballer than myself, and he's had a bit of a tough time. But obviously, he's dropped down to the Conference South. He scored a lot of goals last season. Had a few niggly injuries this year, but hopefully, if he can get back to last season, there might be a football league move in him yet.
Brilliant, good stuff. Is there any more questions from the chat, Chris? That you filtered out? Anything you want to put on?
No, but I've got one. I've got one.
Got one. Yeah.
Yeah, have you been down the Den much this season, Gary? Obviously you've seen and monitored the Championship for a number of years. Do you think this is a team that's capable of getting promoted? Just would welcome your thoughts on the current setup down there.
I think it's going to be tough, as we said. Like obviously, you look at some of the sides in the league, and you look at the sides that are coming now. It's going to be tough, And obviously, budget-wise, we overachieved, which is obviously fantastic. And we've put ourselves in a great position. But again, strength, obviously, depth is probably going to cost us in the end. Ultimately, if we'd have won at Bristol, I think we could have gone sort of 8 points to the good within the playoffs, which is a nice little gap this time of year. But obviously that's dwindled, and all the big sides are now starting to lurk. It's Southampton, Ipswich, so we've got a big Christmas coming up. But if we get some players back and win a few games over Christmas, then why not?
Yeah, it seems to be anyone's league. Stuart's got another question. Yeah, sorry, Joe. Gary, who was your best strike partner at the Den?
Best strike partner? Probably, look, you have to say Neil. Obviously, we understood each other. I think if you look back, our combination play at times was outstanding. I think if you look back, we scored a goal against Bournemouth. I think we had about 3-1-2, so we knew where each other were and obviously worked off each other. It was pretty similar, but we understood each other's game and we combined pretty well. So, yeah, I enjoyed playing with Neil.
Good stuff. Just showing a picture there, you in your heyday with the Mill kit on.
I was a bit slimmer then.
I was going to say, what do you think when you look back at pictures like that? It must be an amazing moment, isn't it?
Yeah, as I said, listen, just to get the opportunity to play for Millwall was an amazing moment. Obviously being brought up in South London, a lot of all my mates going as youngsters, myself going as youngsters, to get that opportunity was something I'll never forget. And as I said, I've scored some goals for the club and I've played my part, in their history. So I can't. There's no complaints from me.
You could see where you're trying to point to the one fan in the lower tier. Like honestly, it just shows you the tendencies at Den could this year and the last few years compared to even when you played. Could you really notice a difference when the Den was packed compared to?
Well, you've just seen the crowd there. It just shows they're obviously better players now than we were. So
I didn't want to say it, Gary. That's not on me.
Yeah, look at that. They've all come out to watch me.
It might have been a night game. It was a night game.
Maybe. Yeah. Phil, have you got a question for Gary before he shoots off?
Yeah, of course. How you doing, Gary? Nice to see you, mate. Seeing
I'm
you
very well,
quite a few
thanks,
away
Phil.
games.
Yeah.
I hope business goes really well. We'll make sure we keep plugging you. What wheels are you driving the darts players around in?
I've got a V-Class, new V-Class exec. Mercedes.
Lovely.
Yeah, so extra long wheelbase. Plenty of.
I was just going to ask you, having played yourself for Millwall, and obviously George came through. How different have you seen things watching your son in professional football to how it was when you were in it? What changes have you noticed in what is the relatively short period of time?
So towards the end of my career, obviously, you started getting fat tested, which wasn't good. So I was getting found out for what I was doing. Getting chased around the training grounds for being overweight and things like that. Now you can't get away with it. Obviously, sports science changed, and a lot more disciplined, I think. And you look at the players' shapes now; they're machines, aren't they? Right through the league, and if you're not in shape, you'll get found out. Whereas maybe a little bit during my career, obviously I started playing sort of late 90s, but towards the end, I think the sports science changed, and we weren't as lucky to have all that around then. So we got away with probably murder.
Do you think the running distances have changed as well?
I was all right. I could always run, like I may have been the one with the highest body fat, but I could always run, But it was so I could. But John Goodman will probably tell you that I used to have to try and bribe him when he was doing the fat test.
we might ask him. We might ask him when we see him one day.
I used to close that door. Yeah, I used to close that door and say, "John, you've got to do me a favour. Kenny will be after me."
Gary, before you go, we can't let you go without seeing this clip. So just bear with 1 second. Sorry, mate. I don't want to embarrass you, but I'm sure you've seen this a few times.
Whitbread with the header. Alexander tries an instinctive volley. Oh, what a goal that is! That is one of the greatest goals you will ever see at Wembley.
That work or not?
Yeah.
Oh, it did work.
Whitbread with the header. Alexander tries an instinctive volley. Oh, what a goal that is! That is one of the greatest goals you will ever see at Wembley from Gary Alexander to put Millwall level. And just look at these fans. They are going absolutely potty. You can say anything about the best players in the world, play for Barcelona, Man United, anybody you can name. You won't see a better strike than that. He knew exactly what he was going to do when it came to him. You watch him. Looks there, quickly he's going to smash it. That is fantastic. Keeper has got no chance. Probably didn't expect it. Nobody expected it but him. He expected it because he did that. That is absolutely fantastic technique. It dips at the end. The power, the pace, did for the goalkeeper. Slightly off his line, but look, he's back in time. But the quality of the strike just couldn't get him anywhere near it. Fantastic. That is...
Great memory.
Wow.
Brilliant. Good stuff. LK Jacket's reaction is that as well, amazing. I mean, what does that sort of do to you when you sort of look back at that moment, Gary? It must be an amazing moment in your life, wasn't it, that goal?
Yeah, as I said, look, it's every boy's dream to play at Wembley, but to score obviously is even better, But it's one of them. Look, it could have gone anywhere, couldn't it? Lucky for me, it's flown in the top corner. Otherwise, I could have been on this show now getting abused. But it's very modest, But yeah, as I said, I can look back on it and with great memories now. But for me, we lost the game, and that was the most important thing,
Yeah, Gary, just very quickly, I know we're tight on time, but when you take a shot like that, do you half plan it when you go on the field, or do you just instantly on the moment just think I'll have a crack, or do you think if I get a chance I'm going to have a crack?
Yeah, I think obviously, listen, as a forward, you don't know when your next chance is going to come along, and it's set up nice. And as I said, look, how many times will I hit a volley like that? I'm not sure I hit that too many times, And on the day, it's lucky for myself, as I said, it's flown in. I could have. It could have gone anywhere, but lucky enough, I've caught it well, I've caught it perfect. But yeah, it's instinct, as I said, in that phase, in that moment, you sort of know the keeper's not going to be on his line, and it's dipped. I couldn't have caught that any better.
Brilliant. Listen, I know you'll have heard it many, many times, but that was just such a special moment for Millwall fans. I was literally opposite, like in line with you when you shot it, and I can't tell you how we celebrated. It was phenomenal.
No, it's amazing. It's a shame we couldn't win. It's a shame we couldn't get over the line that day, wasn't it? Because we probably deserved it, but we did it the following year.
Correct.
Yeah, good stuff. Look, Gary, I'm going to let you go, mate. Thanks so much for coming on. Hopefully, you'll come on do a Forde interview with Chris one day in the new year. That's okay. We'd love to hear your stories.
Yeah, I can't tell all them. But yeah, but yeah, not a problem anyway, guys. Great to see you all, and enjoy the show. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Take care. Bye.
Bye, Gary. What a legend, eh? What a legend. Fantastic. Right, guys, I've got my next guest coming through, so I don't want to keep him holding much longer. So we were meant to get Cohen Denora on tonight, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. So we've got the next best person. The person that actually brought him into the world is his father, the one and only Cohen Denora. How you doing, Cohen? You good?
Hi, guys. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Hey,
how are you, mate?
Hi.
How's things?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Good. Well, Cohen, listen, you know me and you, we're talking Flemish all the time. I'm a perfectionist. I can speak Flemish, you can speak Flemish, but for these guys, unfortunately, we've got to talk English. So is that okay?
Yeah, no problem. I hope I don't make too many mistakes, so I'll try to do my best.
Okay, you'll well.
Yeah, let's go, Joe.
Yeah. And I said, these guys are not as good. You know, they're sehr Zindstom. Yeah.
Oh God.
You're not going to translate that, no?
No. Don't try that. No. Listen, guys. First of all, I just want to say massive congratulations, Cohen, to you. Obviously, Casper and Iris. I mentioned on Instagram that they're having their first baby due next year, which is an amazing moment for you and your family.
It's really great for the family.
Yeah. You must be over the moon becoming a grandfather, right?
Yeah. First time grandfather, so looking really forward to it. I can't wait. The baby will be born in June, so it's mid-season. It's when he's here in Belgium, so it will be
in the
great.
summer. Yeah, excellent. And we were thinking as well, like, Joe works very, very nicely with Denora. Joe Denora. I don't know whether you're struggling for baby names at the moment, but maybe even as a middle name, it might work. No,
works for a boy and a girl.
Exactly.
Yeah, it will be a boy. So it will be a boy. So.
Oh, will it? Oh, you heard it. You heard it here first, eh? There's an exclusive on the Chat with Chaps.
I asked them if you could tell it to people which the gender was of the baby. So they say it was no problem to tell it. So
lovely.
That's
amazing.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
future midfielder.
Yeah.
Casper wanted a girl, so he's a bit disappointed.
Oh no!
Bless.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'd be happy either way, wouldn't they? As long as the baby's healthy, of course, that's the most important thing. But to have a boy is incredible. And you never know. You were a good footballer back in the day, Cohen. Casper was a good footballer. You'd like to think that he took your good genes of being a good footballer. Maybe his son will be a good footballer as well one day, eh?
Well, let's hope so.
He's already enrolled into Anderlecht.
What?
He's in the Anderlecht Academy already, is he?
That's my dream. You'll know that. My favorite club in Belgium is Anderlecht. So, and Casper said, I think 2 or 3 times no again to Anderlecht. So when they contacted him for playing for them, he always said no, I don't want to. Don't want to. But yeah,
you must have been so disappointed at the time, weren't you? Amazing, Phil. You got a question for Cohen, haven't you? I think.
Yeah, I have. Yes. Hi, Cohen. How you doing? You well?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
Good. Nice to see you again. Bumped into you a couple of times around the ground when Joe's escorting you about as your bodyguard.
Yeah, nice.
He's
always so nice.
Yeah. Who buys the drinks though?
Yeah, he does, but he doesn't drink. So we always drink beers, and he drinks Coke. So but that's not a problem. So that doesn't need a driver.
When Cohen says I don't drink, that means I'll have 2 or 3, but he has about 8 or 9. There's a difference,
Cohen's a proper Millwall
Belgian,
supporter.
Yeah.
He realises the best way to watch Millwall is having a few beers. That's for sure. That's what it is.
At the minute, it is.
Yeah, but in the last couple of years I've known you, Cohen, I've introduced you to fish and chips. What else? What food do you have?
Mash and pie.
Mash.
Probably chopping and tailing as well.
we had curry as well, didn't we, Cohen?
Yeah, a lot of curries.
Curry at Brick Lane as well.
Pie and mash is not that interesting. But yeah. It was disgusting.
But at least you tried it. I like Casper.
Yeah,
Casper refused to try it, weren't he? Yeah.
And a Sunday roast also, but that's quite normal.
Yeah. That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, Cohen. I've got a question for you. But are you aware that Joe cheats on you with other players' dads?
Yeah, I know. He has a black book.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a black book.
As long as he's open about that, I just.
Cohen knows he's my brother from another mother. That's what I call him. He's my number one. Enough. So yeah.
Okay. Pictures, Joe. We have pictures.
So being serious for a sec, when did you know Casper was going to be a player, as in like a real player?
Yeah, he was always improving year after year, and he always played with the national youth teams So I know he could play football, but then to become a real professional footballer, you have to have some luck. And the first time he played in the first team of Sint-Truiden, where he started his career, it was as left back. So, and he never played there. That was the first time he played there. So and he did quite good. So when did I know? Yeah, from then I thought he will make his career. But you always have to have a little bit of luck. You don't get injured or stuff like that, or a coach who doesn't like you and he puts you on the bench or in the or somewhere else when he doesn't use you like he should use you. So but he was always okay. He always was he always made a progression year after year, and that's very important.
What would you say?
Was there a point when yourself and your wife were like, "Come on, Casper, you got to get a real job"?
No, never. He's also quite smart. So when he played in Sint-Truiden, and then he went for 1 year to a Division 1 club on a loan, and then he started university, and he always had good grades, so it wasn't a problem for us. But then he came back to Sint-Truiden, and from then on, he always played in the first team, and from there on, his career went okay.
Brilliant, good stuff.
Yeah. Well, we're certainly missing him at the moment.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
you're missing a lot of people, and that's the problem.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, not only so yeah.
Cohen, I want to thank you for coming on. Obviously, we've got a load of guests coming in now. We've got another guest waiting to come through now.
Okay, no problem.
Just wanted to say again, Millwall, we've always been renowned of having Millwall-type players. And I think sometimes in recent years, you like to think we've lost a few Millwall players. We've kind of lost our identity a little bit. But I think Casper is one of those sort of players who's taken on that new identity and becoming what was known then and known still as a Millwall-type player. I think he understands what it means to play for the club, doesn't he? He's changed in his how he plays football. It's a little bit different when he played in Belgium. It was more technical. It was passing the ball around, stuff like that. But now his duels are very good. He's a lot of recoveries and stuff like that. I really like him play football like that. He's great. He's progressing. He can do both sides now, can't he? He could do the technical stuff, but also off the ball. He's very high up with interceptions and tackles, and which you need in the championship, don't you? But good stuff. Listen, Cohen, I will speak to you soon. On behalf of us and all the Millwall fans watching at the moment, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Merry Christmas, thanks enough to Els.
Bye-bye. Happy Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Cool. How good is that, guys?
So how did you not know Merry Christmas in Flemish? Honestly, I thought you were like, I'm really disappointed.
Well, I didn't want to show off, did I? Do you know what I mean? Listen, guys, should we get our next guest up because he's waiting in the green room at the moment? So next up is a man who will bring back memories for a lot of Lions fans from the early 90s. A proper old school Mill player, nicknamed Elvis. Please welcome ex-Mill striker John Goodman. How you doing, John?
Evening, guys.
Hey.
Hi, John.
Good to see you, mate. How's things? How's life treating you at the moment?
All is good, thank you. Forgive me if there's a bit of background noise. My grandson is upstairs trying to go to bed, but he's refusing at the moment. So yeah, it's a bit of a messy household at the moment.
Oh, but you don't look old enough to have a grandson, John, eh?
Well, you're very kind, no, but it's a wonderful thing, and it definitely beats being a parent. I say that, mate. Yeah, grandparenting is a wonderful experience.
Brilliant. I've got a couple of guys here in our chat. You can see on the screen there, John. I've got a couple of questions for you. First one, I'm going to bring in TT and Zach. So TT's got a question for you. Do you want to go ahead, TT?
Yeah, John, it's really nice to see you. Obviously, you came in Bob Pearson scouted you, I believe,
Yeah.
and you came
Yeah.
in. He said that you was going to play by Christmas, and obviously you made your debut in Boxing Day.
Yeah.
So very true to his word. My question was, that team obviously had just come down, and so it would have been a difficult dressing room when you went into it. And we obviously just missed out. Why do you think we just missed out on going up with the talent that we had in the team? Do you think there wasn't enough talent, or do you think it was the the disarray from the season before that were the real problems with it?
I get listen. When I joined, I was like 19 from non-league. So, for me, at that moment in time, I was just in awe of everything going on around me and the quality of the players that I was, able to play with. Some experience like Mick McCarthy in the team. Teddy obviously had been at the club for a number of years and had a wonderful season. I think it was just the two times I was involved in the playoffs with Millwall was probably we finished third in the league, or was felt we were the third best team to go up. And so, but the lottery of the playoffs, we went down to Brighton, went a goal up, and probably should. I think we had a goal disallowed as well. And then the game just ran away from us, and we were probably a better league side than we were a cup side. In truth, so it was a one-off game. Brighton on the day, Mike Small and Robert Codner scored the goals and made it an impossible thing for us for the second leg. And then I think the second time we did a similar thing. We had a very good balanced team with good experience and youth as well. And went up to Derby, and again I played in that one. They were too strong for us on the day. I think Kitson and Gabbiadini might have been their strikers. So a very good side again. And so arguably, if you're the third best team, you'd like to think, and you got it in your. We felt the draw was in our favour. Go to Brighton away, and then we're getting back to the Den and have a real good night. But it just probably the only thing you'd say is for the game to go from 1-0 to 4-1, it accelerated away from us. We did probably lacked a little bit of nous in them situations. The playoffs was a pretty new experience for everybody to manage that game better.
Great answer, John. And it's probably you said going away first and then coming back to the Den. In hindsight, potentially having a really tough game at the Den, in intimidating and us being on top. And then, as we did, when we've gone up recently, we've had the home leg first, the Scunthorpe game, and then we've gone away to Scunthorpe and then got to the playoff final. Ironically, it's probably being at home first or second didn't do us any favours.
No, it's buts and maybes, but definitely. Listen, you hope you're going to be strong enough to go away from home, keep a clean sheet, maybe limit them to one goal at most, and then you've got a fighting chance in the home leg. But to be 2 down or 4-1 down as he was, I think in the second leg, didn't start. John McGinley scored early on, and again, if it was so, it went 2-4. But if that first leg had been a 2-1, 3-1, completely different mindset for Brighton as well in terms of how they defend that game.
Yeah.
Good shout. Cheers. Thanks for your question, TT. Phil, you've got a question for John?
Yeah, nice to see you, John. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Good. I don't know if you can see my picture behind me. Can you see that?
I've got to say, I'm on my phone, so I normally wear glasses, and I know I'm too young to wear glasses, of course, right? So I'm not seeing too much at the moment. It's all a bit of a. I can see some of the Santa hat. That's about all I can see.
Yeah, so basically,
he does believe in Santa after all.
My background is a picture that Brian Tonks took when I think you scored.
Tonksy, yeah.
You scored at West Ham when we were playing Charlton.
You know what? It wasn't against West Ham. Upton Park. So definitely scored.
It was against. I'm pretty sure it was when Charlton were there.
Yeah,
but anyway, the weird thing is, I'm in the crowd, standing right behind you. Really funny. So a bit weird, but in the pictures, Jamie Morley, and one of the things I was going to ask you: did you ever think that Jamie would go on and do pretty well in the agency world?
In a word, yes. He's a duck. That's unfair because he's not a duck and a diver, right? He's not. He's a smart. As a footballer, he was a smart cookie. He had a lovely charm about him, and he taught me a lot off the field as well as on the field. And had a wonderful manner. Would talk to everybody. Had a real charm. And I think, listen, to be successful in anything, them qualities go through. So. I think his uncle or someone was a property developer, so he understands business, and I think it's brilliant that he's been inside the game, he's been a player, he's experienced different types of agents that he's played with or that have represented him. So I know he's doing a brilliant job, and I'm really proud of I'm sure he's delighted with the success he's having. I think it's a brilliant endorsement of all the hard work that he does.
Yeah, brilliant. So the question I suppose that I was just going to ask you is, how did you make the transition? Obviously, you went from player to sports science, but are you not now like an academy director, academy manager?
I've done most things, and I guess so. I did a sports science degree when I was injured. Did that for a few years, and then I probably needed to evolve myself a little bit. So I got involved in psychology, and we started a business working with players and delivering support to them. Came out into coaching for a few years and really enjoyed that. Then off the back of that, became an academy manager. But now I do recruitment. So now I'm involved in academy recruitment at Watford. And I think some people are really, diligent, can stick at the same thing for, their entire life and be brilliant at it. I'm not saying I'm a jack of all trades, but I tend to evolve myself along the way, and maybe 5 or 6 years as a sports scientist, 5 or 6 years as a coach, 5 or 6 years as an academy manager. So I've been doing this for 2 or 3 years now. It's a really rewarding job. You watch. I mean, I've watched Millwall's under-12s the other week against Chelsea, and it was a cracking game. And I thought that the Millwall team was very representative of the values and the things you'd expect from even 11, 12-year-old kids playing for Millwall. Very hard-working, brilliant personalities on the pitch, tough to play against, and real personalities. So. Yeah, it's a really rewarding job. And having said all that, when I was a player, obviously I played at Wimbledon. I packed up and became a sports scientist, and we would pretty much a lot of misbehaviour went around off the pitch, shall we say? So suddenly I'm the sports scientist, telling them to be more professional. Trying to change the behaviours of the players, their refueling habits, their diet, all these things, and so that was a real, I guess, test for me initially around, I had a lot of belief in, all the attributes you require to be a footballer, about being fit, healthy, good mindset, all that sort of stuff. But it was really in the early days when I started out. So, yeah, it was a good challenge.
What was your most regular injury, John? Just last one. Were you?
Yeah.
We've got quite a lot of injuries at Millwall at the moment now. Are they more muscular?
Yeah, we spoke about this. I did a night at the Den just a while back, and the number of injuries with the amount of knowledge we have now, there's still the injuries occurring. Mine were muscular, was groin related, and the groin's a really complicated area in terms of it's related to your pelvis, which is related to your back, and if your back's out of alignment, your hamstrings start to have problems as well. So, I was saying the players generally are on the cusp of being elite athletes, but there's that fine line between being over the edge in terms of the number of games they play, the quality of training that they have to deliver. So not all bodies are built the same, and not all bodies can tolerate the same load. So, yeah, mine was muscular. I ended up retiring with I'd done my knee, structural injury, ACL, and body just wouldn't recover from it. So I had about 3 or 4 operations. And as you may remember, I was more of a runner, and athleticism was a big part of my game. So, but yeah, it is. Not say it's baffling but I think we've got a lot more knowledge, but we haven't maybe gained any more intelligence in terms of understanding and how to prevent the injuries occurring before they occur.
Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting, very interesting. John, obviously you and I have done an interview, didn't we, a couple of years ago? Which guys, if you're watching at the moment, if you search on YouTube the John Goodman interview, obviously you can see it on there. It's a real in-depth one. I would say go and watch it. It's really good. It's a whole sort of story about how he sort of came into football, his time at Millwall and everything else. So please go and watch it. But John, I just want to thank you so much for coming on this evening. We've got another guest coming on in a second. But one quick question before you do go. A lot of guys in the chat are asking questions about your relationship playing up front with Teddy Sheringham. Particularly that season where I think he scored 38 goals, I think it was, when we got relegated. Yeah. I mean, what was that like? What was Teddy like as a player to play with?
It was so I went to the same school as Teddy. I've discussed this before in terms of he's 4 or 5 years older than me, so he was the local hero for me. So we went to the same school. We didn't know each other. I signed for Millwall. I go over and introduce myself for the first day of training, and Teddy's got that arrogance and confidence about him that makes him a little bit unapproachable. He almost looked at me and said, well, just we went to the same school together, but I'm not going to be your mate, sort of thing.
Welcome to Millwall,
It was almost like, well, hang on, you got to earn your stripes if you're going to step onto the field with me. And so, but when I played with Ted, he not only played his game because he was that good, he played my game for me. So he would say, come on, John, get into position early, or just breathe. I'll be breathing out my arse after 20, 30 minutes of the game, He'd help me manage my energy through the game. But he took a lot of pressure off of not only me, but the team, the goals he scored, the quality of his game. So it was a real, I've gone from playing, not to disrespect the guys I played with at non-league, but I'm playing, at Bromley or at Leighton Wingate in a non-league match with the striker I played with at the time, John Bowles, a lovely fella. But suddenly you play with an England international, and he's showing you things, the quality of his heading, the quality of his ball receiving, the quality of his movement, even though he wasn't quick, the quality of his finishing, the quality of his ball striking, and the quality of his training as well. So, he definitely showed me the way to be, or to try and aspire to be an excellent footballer.
Fantastic. John, I could talk to you all night, mate. I really do appreciate it. Listen, we're going to let you crack on watching the darts. Merry Christmas on behalf of Merry Christmas from Chat with Chat's family and all the listeners watching. We've got 240 viewing at the moment. So thank you so much, John. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
And good luck to Mill over the week, over the Christmas period. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, John. Appreciate it. All the best, mate.
Bullseye from John.
Fantastic. Brilliant. How good is that? How good is that? Guys, our next guest is about to come through. So this guy, the voice that every Millwall fan knows extremely well, the man who's called just about every Lions moment in recent years. It's one and only Cole Bates. How you doing, Cole?
I'm fine, thank you. Evening. Thank you for having me on.
Good to see you, mate.
It's that voice.
It's that distinctive tone, isn't it? How's life treating you at the moment, Cole?
Good. Yeah, not bad. Just been wrapping presents for the last hour or two. So, nothing says more Millwall than a Christmas tree, Christmas drop, and a glass of wine. While slowly losing the will to live wrapping presents. But the minute you guys said you want to come on, I thought, yes, please. So,
yeah. You even make that sound exciting, Carl. That's fantastic. Brilliant.
Have you got over Blackburn yet?
No, not even close. No, that was a 32-hour round trip that we all knew was coming when the fixture list come out. Yeah. So, left my house Friday lunchtime, got home Saturday about 8:30. Good times.
Yeah. Well, it's always you're lucky. I say lucky or not lucky. The game went ahead,
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm complaining, but the 540 odd fans that made the trip, they're the heroes of the day, because that must have been, hard slog. We just sadly never got going, but we all knew at Blackburn that was always going to be the case. So.
No, I know. When we had our lineup of all our special guests, we all had a vote who's going to ask questions, and the person who jumped to ask you the first question is your understudy, TikTok George. You might have seen in the rafters at the Den. I
need to turn around because he's normally sat behind me. So is
that the look you normally get, George? Is it? The back of Carl's head. Far away, George.
Yeah, pleasure as always, Carl. Pleasure as always. Thank you for coming on. Right, two questions. So firstly, you've been covering the football club over radio, Millwall TV now for a good while. And in previous years, we haven't quite got over the line to make those alluded playoff spots. This season, obviously, it certainly feels like it's our greatest opportunity, perhaps because of the manager and the current playing squad we have at our disposal. But if you were to take one player from a previous Millwall team to make the current one better, which Millwall player would you choose?
Good question. Could have lined this one up before I walked on here, or sat on here, should I say?
Think of maybe a position we need strengthening the most.
Yeah, I'm just thinking,
just around the corner.
It's hard, and here comes a cracking politician's answer. Because of the amount of injuries, it's hard to tell, because we've lost key players at key times. If we had a fully fit squad, maybe a striker, maybe Zian, just for that little bit of something up top, just to link things through. Because I think that's maybe the area. Exactly, TT. You know, not quite the same guns. No offense, but but yeah, I'd maybe go there. But with a fully fit squad, I think we are good enough. The problem is at the moment, there's a lot of players running on fumes, and they're struggling, and therefore their performances, instead of being say 8 out of 10, are dropping to 7 and 6s, and then teams are getting on top of us that shouldn't. You know, Blackburn weren't a good side, but they still got 2 chances and they won. So I'd probably say that role, a consistent number 10, because we've tried a few there. We've tried Negley there. We've tried Ballo there. We've tried a few others, and it doesn't quite work at the moment. We've played sort of Casper's dad in a row. We even played Casper a bit further forward sometimes. So, yeah, I'd say there would be the one spot, just that link up between the two. Because at the moment, when we've played Josh up there or we've played Mihailo up there, the minute we become under pressure, a gap appears. And that is, in my opinion, the problem, for what it's worth.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the second question is a little bit more easy. You shouldn't have to think too hard about this one. But you've obviously watched every single game this calendar year, the highs and the lows, and also the good and the ugly. But what's been your standout moment in this calendar year for Millwall? What's the highlight which automatically springs to mind this year?
I think at the moment, and it's an easy one, this probably would have been hard a few weeks ago, but the Southampton game, I was having a chat actually with a Millwall fan, John Still, who I bumped into at the Premier Inn, and we were just talking about what it's like to be at a game and how it will always be better than watching it at home. If you can get to a game, it's great, because if you watch the Southampton game at home, you'd have thought it was a brilliant match. You'd still be buzzing, but to have been there when Caleb pings it in the top corner, and then right at the end, you think Southampton have got the point. I'm getting goosebumps as I talk. The ball goes to Kramer at the far stick, and you could see it coming as the ball's coming over from where I'm sat. You could just see it coming over. You could see he's going to get to it, and then he hits it. Just that bit of luck to get through the two, and then just chaos. And so,
and also,
moments
if you don't mind me saying, Cole, sorry to interrupt you there, but we learned. I know technically you didn't join us as a fan, but am I right in saying you almost become a bit of a fan in the years you've been commentating? You can see the raw emotion in your voice when you're commentating when we score goals and the jubilation that you share. I mean, it's so good to see that passion come through.
I'm glad people can't see it. Let's go with that.
I'd love to see it.
No. You see a lot of people record themselves when commentating, and you see bit. Yeah,
go on, George. What's he like, George? What's he like?
I mean, I'll just talk about that Southampton game. I mean, I found it hard because it's a neutral zone, and I found it hard to keep composure. So I can only imagine how hard it would have been to keep composure on commentary. I mean, it was just the best game of football down there in years. So good.
No, it is to be at a game though. They stick with you for a lot longer than if you can't. And I'm sure we do our best on Millwall TV to get that across to people. But as everybody knows, being at a match will always be far better than the television or radio.
Yeah, good stuff. And Bex, cheers for the questions there, George. Bex, you got a question for Carl, haven't you?
Oh, what, my very burning question, the best question of all. Obviously, the last time you was on, I'm very curious. Tuesday nights, has your bin gone out?
It had to go out tonight. It had to go out
tonight. So I'm just wondered, has it gone out?
Oh, it did. Oh, yeah.
It did on time?
Early.
It went out early.
It did 12:30. Just not a problem.
Perfect. Because it's been worrying me every Tuesday. You see,
it should. Yeah. You just get the look from the wife, and you think, I'm going through it.
Carl, I don't want. Oh, God, sorry. I don't want to worry you.
I was just going to say, on a serious note.
Oh, hang on. Go.
Go on, Disco.
No, just finishing off on the bins. You're getting old when you know what time the bins have got to go out and what day, Carl. But I don't want to worry.
You don't. You're mega old. You have it on the fridge, a little sticker that tells you what day.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, Cole. We've got another guest coming on now, Cole. Are you going to stick around for a bit longer? Stay on the show with us for a bit?
Can do. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Be good to have you. Right, so guys,
he's done the bins already, so he's got another.
He's done the bins.
You don't want to do the wrapping either.
He's wrapped his presents up, so he's good for the night, isn't he? So guys, we've already had John Goodman on. We've had Gary Alexander on. We've had Cohen on as well. Have I missed anyone so far? Who else have we had on? Cole, of course. Our next guest, this one needs no introduction. A goalkeeper who gave Millwall fans years of reliability and leadership. or as Disco likes to call him, a big unit between the sticks. It's the one and only, our former Lions #1, David Forde. How you doing, David?
Hey folks, hey guys, how are you? Merry Christmas. Hope all is well.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Thanks for having me on.
How are you, David?
Yeah, life is good. Life is good. Can't complain. All is well. Just like that, my mum is over. She came over last Friday. My birthday was Saturday, 46 years young. So that was nice. Early birthday present, early Christmas present. And yeah, she's feeding me here like a king. So happy days.
Is it a bit of feedback there? If you can hear that or not?
There is feedback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if your microphone maybe.
Any better?
Oh, testing 1 2 3.
Oh, testing 1 2 3.
1 2 3.
Oh,
3, 2, 1.
I think you can hear me back.
Oh, I think you can hear me back. I think it's.
I tell you what, if you just do the
I tell you what, if you just do the talking, we shut up.
So look,
is that any better?
No. I think we.
Is it just your voice? No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's your version, I think.
Right, okay, we'll
try and work around it.
So Bex,
you got a question for David, didn't you?
Yeah. So obviously you had your long playing career, Millwall, and then you go into your 24 cap through the international. Sorry, the feedback's really bad.
We're gonna. I tell you what, Carl, we're gonna try and put you in the green room for a second,
and just see if that
works. Yeah.
Poor Carl's getting binned off, is he?
How's that?
Any better?
Oh, it's still bad, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, I'll just go with it. So my question is, I understand that you practice yoga and meditation and was introduced to the mantra and the power of breathing. So during your playing career, what extent did you use it in your career? And if so, how did you go about using it? So I'm thinking with the players and the mistakes that they're making, and then also, is that better? Oh, see, I'm doing this. And then also with the fans obviously giving you the abuse with any mistakes that you had made, were you able to use what you'd learn through that and put it into your practice?
I don't know what you're talking about in terms of fans abusing me.
I can one.
Right, so what? Sorry, David, I really apologise. What I'll do is I'm having to mute David while we're talking. So when David talks, we've got to keep really quiet, okay? And we should be all right. Is that cool? Right, I'm going to let David speak.
So back to me then, yeah? Thumbs up.
Go.
All right, we got this. This is like communicating to a back four.
This is nothing like Under the Cosh, is it, David?
Talking to Dunny and Robbo and Framo. Yeah, a few communication issues, but we got there in the end. We got promoted in the end, which was the main thing. Yeah, it's a great question, and to be honest, it's not a big question many people have asked me down through the years, and it's like everything, where did it start and how did it all come about? It was probably about in 2010, 2011. We had just been promoted, and like that, I was under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, financially. Being at a new club, being at a big club, being #1 for the first time, and around the Irish team and getting called up and all those different things, and having a young family and everything else. So I was under a lot of pressures and a lot of expectations. And I got introduced to meditation and mantra and pranayama, the ancient yogic breathing techniques. And I found that they were the absolute game changer for myself, because what it started to teach me was the difference between my mind, my body, and my energy. And a lot of the times, in terms of what I was thinking and what I was feeling, were two totally different things. So how I started to explore that in depth and explore a lot about myself, because even though I was doing the best job in the world and at an amazing football club, and the stress and the pressures in terms of how that was in terms of living my dream, that all I ever wanted to do was to play professional football, and I wasn't really enjoying it. And I was battling with my ambition and actually searching for meaning. I was like, what's all this about? Even though I'd reached great highs and great scales in my career, there was still a void and still something missing. So I went on searching that, and that took me to India, took me to South America, took me to many places around the world, meeting many different yogis, babas, sadhus. I've spent probably 25 trips to India, meditating in caves, dancing with shamans. I've done some phenomenal stuff that not your average footballer will do. And to be honest, trailblazing stuff. And, you know, trailblazing this stuff in 2011, 2012, lads thought I was absolutely losing my mind. And the funny thing was, is, you know, the only way to truly gain something is to actually lose it. And losing my mind was a great thing, because it actually made me realize what I had and what I needed to let go of and what I needed to pick up along the way in terms of how can I enhance my performance. Because I started to see that in the modern day that we're all performers on a social stage, and a footballer is no different playing at the Den in front of 20, 55,000 people at Wembley. And then how that enhanced myself as a goalkeeper in terms of the power of focus and concentration. And that's the number one key as a goalkeeper is how presence is built through focus and through concentration. That, as my dad used to always, you know, give me a bit of stick as a child, building sandcastles in the goal mouths while the game was going on, and I had a great tendency to lose my focus and concentration. People asked me then, how did I get from becoming the oldest member of the Republic of Ireland team to make a competitive debut at 33 and to go on to make 24 appearances, where most people are on the decline at that stage when my career started to take off. And I firmly believe it was through the power of meditation and studying the mind. And I've been on that adventure ever since, and that's what I currently do now. So I started to really realize how the breath and the mind are you know, hand in hand. They go hand in hand with each other. So now I teach that, I practice it, and it was my non-negotiable, because at that time I was doing some, people might call it extreme, you know, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, meditating for 2 hours, going in training, wondering how am I getting player of the year, and my whole performance level started to expand. And I can honestly say that experientially I've lived it and I've experienced it, so I understand how potent that medicine actually is.
Amazing. Thank you for answering that. It was quite a question from me.
Yeah, it was
quite interesting too.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but sure, look, it has to start somewhere, doesn't it? You know. So great question.
Thank you.
Hopefully that answered your question.
It did.
I think we're done now.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So just had to mute you there, David. David, we've got a couple of comments coming through on the chat. One of the comments here from George MFC said, David, did you almost have the same amount of appearances as Brian King? I'm going to unmute you now.
I actually believe that I was one behind, but we're actually equal.
Wow.
Yeah, we're equal in appearances. So that's amazing. Like, to think that, one, I have so much respect and admiration for Brian. You know, what an amazing career he had, and he's an absolute gentleman and loves Millwall, a bit like ourselves, and we still stay in touch actually. And we only messaged, he was home there a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, we never got a chance to meet up, but we still drop each other a couple of text messages, and we've always had, even though we haven't met each other, but there's this real GK union type of, you know, we get each other, and especially playing at Millwall, we understand what it's like to play in the nets.
Brilliant. I'm just going to put you on mute again, Dave, just so apologies. So as you can see on the screen there, we've got loads of guys from the Chat with Chaps podcast. We've also got father and son there, TT and his son Zach. So Zach's a ball boy at the Den, and I'm going to embarrass him a little bit here now, Dave, because when Zach was a little boy, you were like his favourite player. He was like your number one fan. And I just want to show you this, which is so cute. It's a little video. I'm going to embarrass him a little bit. I'm going to show you this little video. I love the way you said it's Forde. Oh, he's a shirt. I'm gonna unmute you now, David.
Oh, that's amazing. That's Jason nearly brought a tear to me. Yeah, that's absolute gold dust, absolute magic. It's nice to know that I got one fan. Yeah, so no, that's amazing. And you probably did embarrass him, but a long time ago.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you the. There you go. So, Zach, I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask Forde a question. That little boy, what would he ask Forde right now?
Just what's it like being a goalkeeper for Millwall? Because I'm a goalkeeper myself, and I just find it incredible how people deal with the mental side of things. Well, if you make a mistake, everyone's on your back. I don't get how professional keepers do it. So I'm really intrigued to know how is it being a Millwall goalkeeper?
I'm off the mic, am I still on?
No, go.
You good?
Oh no, somebody's frozen now.
David, you good? I think you might have frozen, David.
I can dance if you like, just to fill the time.
That was you on the ball and keeps the position.
Oh, God, you didn't
David, you can hear us. I think your maybe your Wi-Fi maybe. You're just frozen on our screen.
Have you been selling your Wi-Fi?
It's my dial-up, I'm afraid. Sorry.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
You just frozen.
Oh. Well, we'll bring it back in a sec. Hang on.
Sorry for embarrassing Zach. If like that was,
it was brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh, that was amazing. Honestly, brings a tear to your eye, doesn't it? Right, I think David, you're back. Oh, could be. Can't hear you.
It's all the sound.
No, I'm muted.
All the sound.
There we go.
Hey. Can you remember the question from the Zach there?
Yeah, Zach.
Can you remember the question from the Zach there?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was an amazing video in terms of what it is to be a goalkeeper. It's one thing to be a goalkeeper, but it's another thing to actually be a number one, and the responsibilities and the burdens that come with that. You know, it's such a roller coaster being a goalkeeper. There's such massive highs and such crushing lows. And how you know, Tony Burns was amazing. I don't know if you remember, a lot of guys here remember Tony Burns. Yeah. Tony Burns was like my surrogate dad, and he was the first goalkeeper to teach me what it is to be actually a number one goalkeeper. Most goalkeeping coaches are goalkeeping coaches. Not many ever taught me about what it is to actually be a number one goalkeeper. When I first came to the club, I thought, oh yeah, if I played 30 games a season, that'd be fantastic. And he said, son, you've come to Millwall. He says, you're going to play every game. And I was like, all right, fair enough. That's a good start. And he always taught me, he said, you know, the best guidance he ever gave me was, you know, the key to being successful at Millwall and the key to be successful as a goalkeeper is you don't get too high and you don't get too low. Yeah, you don't get high when you win and you don't get too low when you lose. But that took, unfortunately, I probably realised what he really meant when the last year of my career. It was probably a bit too late. Yeah, so that's it's really rewarding, but it's very, very taxing, and like that you do have to be I wouldn't say unwell, but you want to be a bit unwell in the head to be a goalkeeper. Yeah, so you can see why people class goalkeepers are lunatics, because you must be mad to playing goals. But it's definitely a calling. You know, it's not many people will take up that responsibility and play in the net. So anyone that does it, like yourself, Zach, I have utmost respect for it, because it's, you know, people seem to think and feel what they know what it's like to be a goalkeeper, and you hear people on Sky Sports and pundits and all these different things, they haven't got a clue. They have no idea. Yeah, they might have won Champions League medals, but they've never stepped inside a net. And you know, I think Gigi Buffon said it. You know, people say, "Oh, it's in your 6-yard box. Come and get it." Yeah, I think it's something like it's the size wise is what was it, 100 meters squared or something like that, something ridiculous, and you're meant to come and cover it. So when you look at how big a role it is and the responsibility that comes with it, and especially to be number one, especially to be, you know, at the Cold Blow Lane end and all those different things at Millwall, and you know, it's not such a simple task. It's a difficult role.
Excellent. Brilliant. I'm just going to mute you.
Oh. Right, you're just muted. Cole, I don't know how many years you go back commentating on Millwall games, but surely you would have covered games when Forde was playing for Millwall, wouldn't you? Surely, or would have been after that. Are you on mute?
I'm aware of, but the way this evening's gone, maybe.
Yeah,
you're back now.
Right,
you're back now. Your first sort of games commentating Millwall was Forde in goal at the time?
No, our paths didn't quite cross in that sense. But as you can imagine, Forde, a lot of people spoke about you still. I suppose my question would be, for some of the keepers, when you're having a really good spell or a really bad spell, how do you keep yourself on the level? So if you've pulled off a great save, how do you stay calm so you judge the next ball that comes in? Or if you've made a mistake, how do you not overcompensate for it and maybe come for a ball you shouldn't? Like you mentioned earlier on about meditating, etc. How do you do that in the middle of a game to stay on the level?
So I'm going to unmute you now, Forde, so you can come on. So that's Carl Bates. He does all the commentary for Millwall at the moment. So when you watch Millwall commentary games, whatever, he's the voice for the commentating. I'll put you over now.
He's the new Dino.
That's it. That's it.
Exactly. I know the voice. At least I got a face to it now. So I know who to come after. So yeah, how did I work that? There was a great goalkeeper called Michael Oaks. I don't know if you remember him. He played for and where else did Oaksy play? Oaksy played at Wolves. His dad was ex-Man City and stuff like that. So Oaksy was at Aston Villa. That was at Aston Villa. He had the big blonde curtains and a great left foot. And I always remember him telling me that, you know, he'd come in after a game and he'd say to me, I'd ring him up and I'd say, how'd the game go today? And I'd say, oh, X, Y, and Z, this happened. I either did some good things, didn't do some good things. And he said, what was the score? And I'd be like, 3-0. And the first thing he'd always say to me, he'd say, was your fingerprint, any of your fingerprints on the goals? So it was like a crime scene. Yeah. So as goalkeepers, we would have always forensically investigated the goals in terms of our positional sense, all those different things. This was even long before paralysis by analysis now, because everything is, you can't step sideways, you have VAR, you have absolutely everything. And, you know, you have stats and you have data, and you know what, to be honest, I find it hard to watch it sometimes, you know. Modern day with everything that's going on, it's lost its natural flow and rhythm, and part of the mistakes and the highs and lows, that everything's getting very polished. But anyway, you know, that's taking me off the tangent. So he used to always say to me, you know, he said, never go look for work. Yeah, let the ball find you. You don't need to go hunting the ball. But when you're young and you're enthusiastic and you're trying to make a name for yourself and trying to establish yourself, you know, sometimes your decision making isn't the best. Yeah, so it wasn't really in terms of the decisions and the choices I started to make through self-awareness and self-regulation, how you regulate yourself, how you become self-aware. And in those times of really realising that the biggest lesson that I actually learned from goalkeeping was actually the power of self-forgiveness. You got to be able to forgive yourself big time, because, you know, when you get too high, you can come for, you know, you see it so many different times, and I did it myself. You pull off a worldie into the top corner, like you have no right to even save it, and you're on such a high after pulling off that corner comes in. You think you're Superman, you think you come for the cross, and next thing you're like, keepers, not going to get there. Next thing, 1-0. and all your good work is gone out the window. And then there's times then where, you know, a pea roller goes through your legs, and you're thinking, right, how do I pick myself up? And I'll always go back to Tony Burns, and one of the biggest things he ever said to me was, David, he said, at Millwall, especially at Millwall, he said, you make one mistake, you don't make two. And just simple like that, and having people like that in my life, and wise people and wise men, it was always good to hold on to those wise people. They were like big oak trees that stood firm when the storms came, and so I always look back to those moments, and they were defining moments, and that as you're playing the game is, a lot of the times is the self-talk and the power of self-talk throughout the game to keep your focus and keep your concentration.
Brilliant. I'm going to mute you again, Steve. Right, okay, there's no feedback. Perfect. We've got two more questions coming through. We've got one from Disco Steve, and then Stato, you're going to sing us a question as well, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm going to... do you want to ask a question now, Disco?
Yeah, please. Yeah, hi, David. Nice to see you again. I was lucky enough to meet you at the our charity day last season, the Borough game, and you came across as an absolutely fantastic bloke on that day. And I think all the listeners tonight will be watching this saying, wow, he was a great keeper, but what a top bloke as well. So thanks for that. But David, I wanted to ask you, hopefully you saw the game, but I wondered if you'd like to have been in goal for our recent visit to Bristol City and maybe got involved at the end of the game.
Right, I'm going to unmute you.
Yeah, thanks a million, Disco. Appreciate that. The last game at Bristol, I've hung up my gloves and boxing gloves. They've been all hung up, but as I said, someone asked me recently, would I love to be back in goals, or you definitely do a job, or and I turned around and I said, well, to be honest, I said I've probably got one good dive left of me. And when it comes to the shenanigans at Bristol, I still got one right hook left of me as well. So I would have loved to be down there actually. Yeah. So that would have been fun. That would have been fun, and it was great to see. It was great to see, and as I said, it's great to see that fight is still alive and well.
Cheers, David. Cheers, David.
Brilliant, good stuff.
Stato, you've got a quick...
Sorry. Again. Right. Last question. We've got another guest coming through. Stato, you got a quick question for David before we say bye to him?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a quick one. David, thanks for your time. And I think I know the answer to this question, but just how satisfying was it saving that Jermaine Beckford penalty at Ellen Road, because that is one of my all-time favourite moments following the club, because Sky wanted Leeds to win. I think everybody wanted Leeds to win, and that second half and that save, just how satisfying was that moment?
Right, I'm going to unmute you now, David.
It was as satisfying now as Christmas dinner, It was a great occasion, and I think just the magnitude of it and the shenanigans that happened previously to it that led to that occasion. Obviously, live on TV on Sky that night when they beat us, and the unfortunate thing about that day as well, it was my uncle, my godfather, passed away in Ireland. And I wasn't going to go and play until I spoke to my dad and my mum, and they said, "Your Uncle Johnny, he would have loved to have you play." And people talk about goalkeeping, they talk about footballers and stuff, and life off the pitch. They don't actually fully realise what we carry into games as well. So I go to play that game on the March, I think it was March, and Beckford gives me one of them into the mush. And sure, there was a few dark arts going on. He was trying to grab my arm, and I gently, politely said to him, I said, "Look, Jermaine, is that the game you want to play?" Yeah. And he was like, what? And he was giving it all this big one. And I said, "Well, if you want to play that game, let's dance." And he looked at me and he thought, "What is this guy talking about?" So we danced around a bit that night, and I think I may have stood on his toe by accident. And I think he said he broke his toe, but I'm sure I'm 15 stone, and that's wearing big studs and stuff like that. So that was unfortunate for him. And he elbows me into the mush, and I get some stitches on my lip and stuff. And I was like, right, that's all's fair in love and war. So then we come back then to the playoff game, and we are 1-0 up, heading up to Ellen Road. And even no one gave us a chance the whole 2 legs, you know. We arrive up at Ellen Road, and there was all the shenanigans as well of they would only allow 1,000 fans, and they had to collect tickets down at the motorway, the services, and just really, excuse the French, but the piss taking that was going on about it, and that really give us a bit between the teeth also, you know, give us that little bit of an extra of an edge. So we've gone out, and then all of a sudden you're into Ellen Road, and there's, I think it was 42,000 people, and that is some stadium, and I'm sure some of you have experienced it. I don't know how many, but that is some atmosphere, and the noise alone, and it was probably the biggest game of my career at that stage, and that was 28 years of age. And then I remember hearing the noise and stuff, and next thing we're under all sorts of pressure, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be, maybe the pundits were right. And like what you said around that self-talk, trying to grasp hold of the stimulation from the fans, the noise, the players, the whole different thing. It was an assault on the senses, to be honest. So next thing, Becchio gets a penalty, and we're like, oh my God, here we go. Beckford steps up, and that year I think I saved 6 penalties. That's probably my PB in terms of penalty saves. I just had this absolute tractor beam. Before he even stepped up, I knew where he was going. I was like, I'm going to save it. And I told the lads, I said, right, I'm saving this. And they were like, right, yeah, go save it, like, you know. So next thing I dive bottom low to me right, ball kind of spills back up. We clear the ball, and all I remember is Adam Boulder coming in, just absolutely going mental, and the fans going mental corner, and it felt like what I can only describe as I would have loved to score the goal, and that was like actually scoring. And you know, we go on and it goes 1-1 in the game, and next thing, as you know, one of the most famous goals is Jimmy's goal, because it's such a rarity. I think it was the only goal he scores. He scores. I ran to the halfway line celebrating, and I was already wrecked at that stage. And I was wondering how am I going to run and get back into goals. The final whistle goes, and I'm getting pelted. I must have picked up 42-pound coins. I stick them into my jumper, and I pull it up like that, and I go.
David,
that was
David,
that was a great night.
Also, I'm going to put you on mute again.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm going to put you on mute again for your feedback. I've got your old. Sorry, I've got your old teammate here, Darren Ward, aka the Peckham Beckham, who just popped in. How you doing, Darren? You good?
Evening, guys.
Can you hear us?
Right? Can you hear me?
Yay!
Right.
Still looking as sexy as ever.
Yeah.
Come on,
in the car. Doing the taxi ride with your children. What about that?
Of course you do. I know. We've got Forde on here, but he's got a bit of feedback. So the idea is when we talk, we have to mute him. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a pain, I know. So bear with us. But I'm glad you're here. Forde is going to be hanging around for a bit longer, but he's going to have to shoot off soon. So, Forde, do you want to say anything to Wardy while he's here?
Wardy, what's the crack, brother? How are you? Great to see you.
Wardy, how are you, mate?
We must catch up soon, yeah. But look, to be honest, people ask me who was a big influence on my career and my time at Millwall, and you know, I loved actually playing with Darren Ward. People ask me who was one of my favourite players to play with at Millwall, and Darren Ward was actually one of them. He was calm, he was composed, he had it all, really, to be honest, and he made a big difference to our promotion year that year and the years afterwards. So it was an absolute pleasure to play alongside Wardy, and yeah, we had some great times. And the night we had with the V Fest, and the night we had in the V Festival.
As kind words, yeah, and it's a great night. What a day that was.
Spill the beans.
Guys,
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Forde, with your signal at the moment, your mic is giving interference. I've got one more guest trying to get through at the moment, but we've got 10 here. We need to actually remove one of us, unfortunately. I don't know whether, Phil, are you okay to watch on this stream? Is that okay? Cheers, Phil. Sorry, mate. Thanks a lot. See you soon, Phil. No. Okay, so that
people will be wondering if this is the Christmas special or the bloopers. I'm telling you, there's.
Right, we've got one more coming through now. Another special guest. Right, as we wait, let's Darren, you carry on talking. Sorry, mate.
I'll ask a question. Can I ask a question to the Peckham Beckham?
Yeah.
Yes, mate. Darren, I genuinely think, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, we've spoken about this many a time, that you were like, in today's game, you'd probably been better than you was back then, because today's game is more about having the ball at your feet, being able to head it, kick it, tackle, but also be able to carry the ball out, be composed, reading of the game. I feel like you had it all. Like, how do you think you would fare in today's game? And do you think you were maybe playing sort of 10, 15 years too early?
Oh, you there, Darren?
Frozen. Repeat.
It's frozen. Are you back? Sorry, Darren, while you're waiting, we've got, last but not least, another Millwall legend here, Paul Eiffel. So, Paul, we've got Forde, we've got Darren Ward, aka the Peckham Beckham. How you doing, Eiffel? You good?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you guys? All right?
Yeah, good to see you, mate. Good to have you on. Good to have you on as well. We're having some technical issues at the moment. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi in Ireland is not as good as it is in England at the moment, where Forde is. So we get a little bit of feedback, don't we, Forde?
Blame the Paddies. It's always the Paddies' fault. we built the internet. You wouldn't have internet only for us.
Right. I'm going to skip back on mute again. Sorry, Forde. Right, where are we?
So Forde speaks twice. Darren doesn't speak at all, and we're relying on us for some.
I know. It was going so well. It was going so well, wasn't it? Sorry, Ice, before you go, Darren, where were you, mate? Sorry, this is calamity. This is. Sorry, Darren.
Mate, I missed the lot. I plugged you in to charge my phone on about 10% battery on this phone. But I missed the last part of your question.
Yeah.
The question.
Who's the question from? Sorry, from Chris.
It was me.
Yeah,
So I was just asking you, Darren. Obviously, I felt that you were probably as good as you was back then, and you really was one of the best centre backs I've seen down in my era. Just with the way the game has evolved now, how do you think you'd fare? Because I often think you were sort of playing 10, 15 years ahead of a sort of what a typical centre back role would be.
Yeah, no, it's a good question, to be honest. Yeah, very, I'd say quite with what we do now. We run school and ball when I was playing, ask that question. Oh, if you played against this player, that player, they just pace you and this, that, and the other. I went, okay. Thierry Henry, some of the quickest out there, even players like Ricardo Fuller, Paul Eiffel. Paul Eiffel was rapid when he got going. And what a player he was as well, by the way, for the club. I know he don't want to embarrass. I realise when you, as you're watching a game, watching was in front, and when I to say he was like electric. One was on the edge of their feet, or their seat, because what he could do at times was just absolutely incredible, and a highly underrated player. Personally, from my view, he's one of the highly underrated players, like Livs. And when you're up against these quick players who've got a lot of creativity,
losing your best man, Darren. Problem. Your signal's going a little bit.
Probably, mate. We're having it.
Just cutting out. Was you talking about Eiffel being electric or me? I can't work it out.
Always back to you, Joe.
It was about Ives. It was about Ives. I'll take it. I'll accept it. Right, you might come back in a bit. Ives, how are you doing, mate? You good?
I'm all right. I'm good. Morning. It's the morning here, so I've just got out of bed. Got some shit to do on Christmas Eve. Got to tidy up the house.
It's sunny New Zealand, right?
I'm in New Zealand. Yeah, I'm in the only tidy room of the house at the moment. So I've got some bits and pieces to do.
Brilliant, excellent. So, what's the weather like? Temperature there? It's kind of like your summer there. I take it. Is it at the moment?
Yeah, it's lovely out. It's sunny, blue skies.
Nice.
I don't miss the weather in England, but I do miss having a cold Christmas. I can't get used to a hot Christmas. It's disgusting. Everybody wants to have a barbecue. If I was in Australia, I'd understand the barbecue on the beach, but we're in New Zealand. It's similar to England. I need a cold Christmas, so maybe next year come back for Christmas.
You're welcome round our house, I've said any time.
Thank you.
And Forde, definitely.
What about Wardy?
Wardy.
At least I'd get a word in edgeways with his connection.
This is true. This is true.
Wardy's driving around here right now. That's what the connection's so bad.
we got one more guest coming through in a little while anyway, so hopefully we'll get him on shortly. Beex and Stato, you got questions for Eiffel, didn't you? I don't know who wants to go first. Stato?
John, Stato, you can go. I need to get the question up that I've been sent.
No, that's fine. Paul, I think most of the people that are in this chat sort of grew up watching you and your team, so quite a lot of heroes in that side. My question, and I'm pretty sure you probably expected this, revolves around Sunday the 4th of April 2004 at Old Trafford, which I think is probably, outside of the final, probably the biggest day in a lot of our history in as well. We're following the club, and it's a two-part really, but one, how much of the game and the occasion do you actually remember, and two, as amazing as it was that Tim Cahill followed up that effort from you, how disappointed were you that it wasn't you that scored the goal and it was Tim that got all the glory?
Oh, look, people will know me and Timmy go back a long way. We're good mates, but he always got the glory. He was always in the right place at the right time. I do a few talks over here about my career, and people don't believe me when I say he wasn't actually that good. I'm only joking. Don't put that in a clip. No, Timmy was class, but he was Mr. Right Place, Right Time. Like he did so much work behind the scenes. His work ethic was unbelievable, and I always sort of think that the work he did led to him being in the right places, and the guys who played with him, like he was so brave. He was only 5'10", but jumped like he was about 6'4". And I think when he got into the team early on, nobody really knew too much about him. So he'd be able to sneak in and score headers and, affect the game. And then as it went forward, you'd find the other team would put their best defenders on him, and he'd still find a way to out-jump you. He'd never out-muscle you, he'd out-think you. And you'd think he'd go into the near post and he'd peel off to the back or vice versa. His movement was class. So it didn't surprise me. Do I wish it was me scoring that? Absolutely. I remember cutting inside.
He probably got a move to Everton if you scored that one.
I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But I always remember nicking the ball, chopping inside, which I did quite regularly. And I opened up, and it was on my left foot, and I should have just passed it in the corner. But FA Cup semi, I got a bit excited, so I thought I'm just going to whack it. And I hit it as hard as I could. It hit the keeper square in the chest and bounced back. And as it's going back, I look round and Timmy's there, half volley, puts it in, runs past me, and you've got that iconic photo of him waving his shirt around his head, and there's me taking it, trying to catch him. Now, I've told this story before, but as I'm running after him, I pulled my groin, and the game restarts, and I'm like, right, shit, I'm done. Like I could tell I was done, but I'm thinking there's no way I'm going to go off now after that celebration. I'm going to have to style it like I'm okay. So I ran down the line to try and get on another ball and, give it the old, time to go. I get stretchered off. And then about 10 minutes later, Muskie breaks his kneecap in God knows how many places and walks off. So that tells you the difference between me, a fancy little winger, and Muskie, who was our hard-nosed captain. So I got a lot of stick between that and the final, to be honest.
Amazing. And I find out, do you hear the story? For the semi-final, I was up at the hotel and I was staying over with Timmy's family and all them lot. And Timmy's dad, his old man, was a legend, and he was telling me the story of how he got Timmy to jump up so high. Do you know what happened? How he did this? So when he was a kid, apparently in their garden, they used to have a string over a branch, and he would make Timmy jump up a header from a standing jump. And if Timmy hit the string, he'll put the string up again to make it shorter, and he'll go up, and if he missed the branch, he will whip him at the back of his legs with a branch. So he used to develop the muscles in Timmy's, I don't know you call it hamstrings or quads, to generate the power to jump from a standing jump. He used to TT starting now.
Jump,
I mean,
boy.
his dad was like proper old school, wasn't he, Ives?
Wow.
I don't know if that's old school or child abuse. I think listen, if it means you're playing 4 World Cups and about 700 games and have the career that Timmy had, I think you'd take a few whips on the back of the legs. I bet he wasn't whipping him too often either. Jesus.
Yeah.
No, incredible standing jump. What I got you, obviously Ward is back on again. I don't know if you heard what you say, but his internet was cutting out, but he was saying some nice words about you. Could you return the favour and give us some nice words about the Beckham back in the day for your fondest memories of Wardy when he was playing at the back?
I think I heard you speaking a little bit about it. I do think he was sort of kind of before his time. You know, for somebody so big, he was pretty graceful. And I think if he was playing in today's game, he'd be the guy who plays for De Zerbi, and he's putting his foot on the ball and he's driving into midfield and he's joining in the midfield. You know, I think he was a bit John Stones esque in my opinion. I think you could have chucked him in midfield as a 6. He'd have been one to be able to drop in the back 3 or go forward. But yeah, before his time, like he was there at a time when we had so many centre backs, but he always gave us a point of difference. And I don't think we again, he talks about me being underrated, but I think he was underrated, and it was no surprise to me when he got his move and he was doing ever so well at different clubs. And I think if the game had been a little bit different, he would have suited it a little bit better, in my opinion. That's not to say he didn't have a cracking career. I think he did, but I do think he was before his time, and we didn't know what we had in a sense.
Yeah, no, very, very sure. And they're both foot centre back as well. You know, I think he played on the left side predominantly, but yeah, good left foot, good right foot, good in the air, as you say. And for a big guy, yeah, relatively quick, weren't he, as well, Ives?
He had it all, but I think for us, we were very 4-4-2. Get it wide, knock it in the channels for us idiots to run after and get the ball in the box, which is probably pretty similar that it's always been at Millwall. And I think he probably for some of the coaches wanted to play a little bit too much, and he wanted to knock the ball into midfield. And I didn't think that was ever a bad thing. But I think for some of the coaches, they didn't know how to use him best, and that's kind of how I'd describe it.
Brilliant, good stuff. Right, so guys, with our setup and StreamYard, it allows 10 people on at one time, but we've got a couple of ex-Millwall players trying to get in at the moment, but they can't get in because we're kind of like hogged up. So, Chris, you're there with us at the moment, but you're going to shoot off for a minute. And Forde, are you gonna shoot off? Are you off as well? All right, I'm gonna take you off mute. So you can say a few words to Millwall fans, Forde.
Yeah, guys, thanks a million for listening in. Merry Christmas to you all, and hopefully next year we'll be in the fucking Premier League. Come on, boys.
And Forde, just want to promote your. Oh, he's gone. I was going to promote his book, but he's gone. We'll do that afterwards anyway. Darren, what's your Wi-Fi like at the moment, Darren? Your signal, all good? Maybe. Can you hear us?
That's a no. That's a no then.
Right, guys. Next guest coming through. Next guest. We're keeping these coming now. Next guest is a player who played in the late 80s, early 90s for Millwall. It's the one and only Wes Reed. How you doing, Wes? You good?
Very good. How is everyone there?
Yeah, we've got players from the golden eras here. We've got the Ives and the Darren Wards from their era. We had Forde from his era, and we've got Wes Reed from the late 80s. What an era that was, Wes, eh?
Oh, fantastic! You know, it was the time when we had Cass, Teddy, Jimmy Carter, Les Riley. Just a great time to be at Millwall. A real great time.
Amazing. I don't know if you can hear us. Your mic is a little bit quiet at the moment. I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
That's a bit better. That's a bit better. Yeah, mate, obviously, yeah, you've played for a good era. Between 1987 and 1991, you were part of the squad that went up to the old First Division, which is now the Premier League. What do you remember about that time playing for Millwall? Obviously, we've got Paul Eiffel here. We've got Darren Ward here as well. It's a special moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. The late John Goffey put together a great set of lads. You know, he brought in Castorino. Teddy was starting to flourish. He brought George Lawrence, Paul Stevenson. It was just magical. I'm from around the area. I grew up in Peckham, so I knew what it was like for Millwall fans to suddenly have a team that was capable of getting them to where they got. And what we did in them 2 years was just unbelievable.
Yeah, incredible. Have you bumped into Ives much when he was playing for Millwall? Whether you were doing hospitality at the time, was you, Wes?
Can you hear me, gents, ladies?
I can hear you. Yeah. Can you hear us?
I'm not sure if it's my mic.
We have a. Who would have thought the person that lives the furthest away in New Zealand has got the best Wi-Fi out of all you? Unbelievable, eh? Unbelievable. Wes, if you can hear us, we've got Darren Ward here, and we've got Paul Eiffel. He just missed Forde. He's gone. Have you bumped into these guys during your time at Millwall, Wes?
I can hear someone in the background, but I don't think you can hear me.
No, we can hear you. Can you hear us? No, I can't hear you too great, Wes.
Can you hear me?
Right.
Yeah.
We can hear you, but you can't hear us, can you? That's what happens when you bring players back from the 80s. You see, technically is a bit of a struggle, isn't it? You know.
I tell you what, this is making disco look like Steve Jobs. I'm telling you.
Normally, his disco one is really bad. The old technical side of.
He's redistributed his Wi-Fi.
Wes, can you hear us?
I can hear someone, but I don't think you can hear me.
We can hear you. No. Oh, bless him. Ives, back to you, mate. What are you up to at the moment, Ives? You're coaching, managing at the moment?
Yeah, I just finished coaching. I've just done like a 4-year stint in 2 different clubs. It's gone pretty well, to be honest. I just need a little bit of a break. So
I think I've lost connection.
Oh, yeah, that's better. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Better. We can hear you now.
Can you hear us, Wes?
Ives actually running an internet business.
He's going to make a fucking killing,
He's only on it to plug his business.
He's going to make a killing at this rate.
It's called Always Finds the Net.
Yeah.
Yeah, great name.
Can I ask Ives a quick question? Just a topical one. Paul, absolutely fantastic to meet you. I've never personally met you, but watched you on the stands many, many times, and what a player you were for us. It's all been said that you were very quick, obviously, on the wing there, but you had a really good goal scoring ratio of games to goals, which was fantastic for us and every team you played for, pretty much. I just wonder, and there's a topic behind this, or a theme behind this question. What sort of advice would you give to a young winger, and maybe a winger who is accused of not anticipating goal opportunities every week? What sort of advice would you give them to up their scoring ability?
I think you've got to look at the positions you want to get yourself into on the weekend and practice those in isolation first, so that it becomes kind of normal. I always think, what were the chances I was going to get with the players that were playing in front of me? So if you look at when we had Sads, for instance, and Chopper was so good in the box off of Sads. So I was always going to get chances sort of cutting inside and maybe getting the bits off of a Sads knockdown or something that's half clear to the edge of the box. So a lot of my goals were getting on the edge of the box, actually going onto my left foot and hitting it there. And if they weren't there, a lot of them were crosses from the other side from Reedy. And if you remember, Reedy was a right footer playing on the left-hand side. So just trying to replicate what you might find, because we had Christoph Kinney as well, who was ever so different. So depending on who you were playing with, depend on what sort of chances you get. And look, it's easy for me to say now because I wasn't necessarily doing this when I was at Millwall, but I think video analysis was just becoming something that we used a little bit. And Mark McGee was quite good at that, sitting you down and, whether it was with the assistant coach and going, look, this is where the second phase ball is going to drop. You've got to anticipate it's going to drop there, get yourself into a position where the defenders can't see you on the blind side, and then make your move from there. I think a lot of wingers just make their way into the box hoping it's going to fall. But if you look at the best wingers today, they might start at the back post, but they've got that near post mentality. But it's the timing of when to get there. You don't just want to go in there at the wrong time. You want to be going in there just when the defender's just lost you for a second, because the defender can't see the crosser and you. So if you're in a position where he can't do that, you're in the position of power now. So I think they're the little things. It's easy for me to say now, 25 years later. If I'd have done it 25 years ago, I might have scored more goals.
Well, you certainly scored plenty, and that's great insight. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
Really did.
Joe, can I ask?
Go on.
No, I was going to say, because Jesper sent his question, didn't he, for Paul?
Yeah. Just before we ask that question, Paul, just saying what he's up to at the moment. Sorry, Paul, we lost you. So you're currently coaching at the moment. Yeah. Are you?
Yeah, currently coaching. I am plugging a business. It's not out yet, but in January, I am launching a business. Long story, but my daughter's 14. A very good friend of mine is a psychologist. His son is 14. We used to, for the last sort of 4 or 5 years, we've been on the sideline watching our kids grow up and, you know, just deal with life and deal with football. And we got talking about my career, and I said I'd have been a way better player and played many more games in the Premier League if I'd have got my mindset right. I always believe I was a confidence player, as much as you will know, and I struggled with that side of the game. And kind of between us, we said let's maybe put something together to help, I suppose, youth of today deal with everything they're dealing with, you know, in terms of their mindset and confidence, anxiety levels, etc. So it's called Sport Brain. You're the first to hear of it. It's an online platform. I'll come back on with you at some point and explain the premise of it.
We'll definitely plug it for you and promote it. Yeah.
Really quick snapshot of what it does. You do a 4-minute assessment online. It gives you a snapshot of where you are with all your levels, and then you can go onto our online modules, learn how to improve your confidence, learn how to deal with your anxiety, learn how to prep and plan better. So that's the long and short of it. It's hopefully out the end of Jan. We've done all the testing. Been about 2.5 years in the making. So yeah, take a look.
Is there a website now, Ives? Is there a website that's launched ready for this?
No, there will be. I don't want to put it out yet. It's at the final stages of testing.
When it's done, let us know, and we'll definitely get it out and we'll promote it.
Lovely.
Because honestly, my son's now 18. And he's technically a very, very good player. But as you say, he struggles confidence playing. When his confidence is up, he's one of the best players on the pitch. When it's low, he's like one of the worst players on the pitch. And the mind is so powerful, isn't it? It really dictates how you... But is it true to say, is it like 80% brain, 20% ability, they say? Don't they footballers sometimes?
I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that.
So.
And
90-10 maybe.
Well, no, the reason I say it is because I look at it and go, if you take our time from Millwall, for instance, right, there's no way that, and this is just my opinion, I don't think Timmy was the best technical player in our team, right? No. But if you ask anybody on the panel that's been on there tonight, in terms of confidence, he was more confident than all of us put together, right? So he absolutely excelled with what he had. But I look at other players in that, like Stephen Reed was absolutely unbelievable. Had an unbelievable career, don't get me wrong. But I honestly believe he could have gone, if he had Timmy's confidence, which Reed spoken about publicly. If he had Timmy's confidence, he'd have done things that he'd have gone to World Cups for Ireland and one of Ireland's best. He was one of Ireland's best anyway, but he could have gone even higher than that. So there must be something that separates the good from the great. And
I'm thinking to your point there, I think about players with respect who technically weren't that great. Look at Birch, not particularly technically gifted, but bags of confidence. You know, Bomber as well, like Chopper, he had lots of confidence and he had ability as well, I guess, to add to that. But you're right, that is such a big part, and I think that's got to be brought out a little bit more, talked about more often, especially for young children playing football at the moment. It's so powerful. So obviously, wish you all the best with that, mate. I hope that does really well for you. You know, it really does. Thanks, mate. Bex, so you've got a question for Jesper, and you Bex for Ives.
Yes. So Paul, so Jesper asked if we could just ask you, had we got promoted back in 2002, how well do you think we would have done?
Oof. Really, really hard to say. But I do believe we always talked about it, all the boys, because we'd all come through. A lot of us have come through the youth system together. It was a really good youth system at the time, and because of that, we kind of had no fear. We didn't really know what to expect. So you just playing football with your mates. Half the time you forget your pros, if you know what I mean. So I think we just rolled on. I think we just stayed in the league. I'm not saying we'd have done anything spectacular, but I think stayed in the league for 2 or 3 seasons. If the club had reinvested some money on the back end of that and got some more experienced players in, I think it could have made the world of difference. I look back to when someone like Dion Dublin came in. The difference in level from Dion to us. Again, you talk about mindset and quality, and oh my God, he was the ultimate professional. And I remember just thinking, geez, if we could have 3 or 4 like that in the building, imagine what us as young kids could have learned from somebody like that. I think that would have been that bit to bridge the gap. So I think we'd have done okay, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant.
I
Good
enjoyed
stuff.
watching you as a squad. It was amazing. It was fantastic.
Okay, Ives, Wes, are you still with us, Wes? Wes, I don't know if you're there or not. Darren, are you there, Darren? So we've got Wes Reed, we've got Darren Ward. I don't know if you're there or not, guys. Ives, we've got another player coming through. This player played in the 70s. Right, this guy, he was nicknamed Merlin. You could work it out because he was a wizard on the wing. Millwall sold him to Manchester United in the 70s for a record transfer fee. I'm going to bring you in Mr. Gordon Hill. How you doing, Gordon? You good? Hello, Gordon. Oh. You hear us? Gordon. 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 Can't hear us, no? Gordon.
Oh, can Wardy hear us?
Hello. Wardy, can you hear us? Wardy? Ives, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
For that.
It's your show, Paul.
Honestly, you got the whole stage, Paul. You got the whole stage. Gordon.
Oh, dear.
I don't think Gordon can hear, can he? So basically, I don't think Gordon can hear.
Why do you think
he played for Millwall for about 3 years? Okay, Millwall sold him to Man United for a record transfer fee. It was 125,000. In today's money, it's about 1.5 million pounds. Yeah, he went to Man United when Steve Coppell was there, and a few other players, and he was like, you know, Ryan Giggs back in the day, left-footed winger, tricky, get crosses in, scoring goals, left foot, right foot. That's what Gordon Hill was like. If you watch some footage of Gordon Hill, he was like unbelievable. He was ahead of his time. And he lives out in Seattle, in America. So basically went over to America, played out there, played with Pele. We played for New York. So he played the same team as Pele and a few other legends out there as well. He stayed out there, met a lady out there, got married, had a family. He does coaching. He still does coaching now. I think he's about 73, 74 years old, Gordon. So it's a shame you can't hear us, but I can't even use sign language here. So, Gordon, good to have you on, even though you can't hear me. It's great having you. Darren, can you hear us?
Hello.
Darren.
Oh, Gordon. That was Gordon, wasn't it?
Hello?
No.
I think that was Darren. Wes. Wes, are you there? I can't believe we've got 472 people watching us live at the moment, and all we do is moan about the Wi-Fi. Wes, can you hear us?
It's brilliant.
Can you hear us? Gordon, hey, there you go. Gordon, can you hear us?
Yeah.
No.
I can't hear anyone.
No.
Oh, bless.
Where's he on?
Oh, well. Anyway, at least
Sorry,
Ives with us
say,
anyway.
Says, Gordon, blink twice if you can hear
So,
us.
Ives, my question is, Ives, is it true you are the reason why Craig David had so much success in the late 2000s because he styled himself on you? Is that right?
Well, that's the story I told. That's the story I told. I did have a night out in London on Craig David. That's actually true. I went out. I used to have the goatee, obviously, and the curly hair, and I went out one night for my mate's. I think it was his 21st, and I'd hired a limo, and we drove up from Brighton. And
I can hear now.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, Gordon.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Hi, Gordon. You're right. Merry Christmas, Gordon. Gordon,
Merry
I've just told us a story, but we'll get back to your story in a second. This is Paul Eiffel.
Sorry.
Do you remember Paul Eiffel when he played for Millwall in the late 90s, early 2000s?
Eiffel, yeah.
Eiffel, Paul Eiffel.
Eiffel, yeah.
So I was explaining to Paul that you played for us in the 70s. What years did you play for us? 70?
Yeah, 71 and 72 I signed. Yeah, I think Noah was building an ark then.
Well, mate, you know what? A lot of people say, and our guys in the chat quote me if I'm right or wrong here saying this, that people refer to you or refer to Eiffel as very similar to you. You were left-footed, Eiffel was right-footed, but both of you are very, very similar players from different eras where you used to love taking a player on, you would love scoring goals, and Eiffel was just like you, Gordon, but on the other side. He was on the right, you played on the left-hand side. Of course, you went to play for Manchester United, didn't you? You won the cup with United as well, didn't you, the FA Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah, and play a big role, played for England as well, and great career. We're going to come back to you second, Gordon, but I'm just going to finish the story from Eiffel about him passing Craig David and having a night out thanks to Craig David.
We need to know if it happened on the Sunday or the Monday or the Tuesday. I'm here a week.
We were making love by Wednesday. That was
Tell us the story. So you're in this nightclub. You pull up in a limousine.
No.
Everyone thinks you're Paul. Are you in the limo? Okay.
I'm in the limo with all my mates, right? So I've hired a limo. My mate's 21st. He didn't know. We picked everybody up from the pub. We were off. Might have been China Whites or whatever it was whatever the big club was back in the day. And I'd sorted out a table for us, right? Now it wasn't a great table. It was a table in the club. We were happy enough. So we get there. I've got like it sounds terrible now, but I've got jeans on, like denim jackets, like full denim on denim. And I did look a little bit like Craig David. So I've got out. This one girl comes running over. It's Craig David. then loads of other people started shouting it. So I'm like, holy shit, this is a bit weird. So my mate stood next to me. He goes, just go with it. So I'm signing autographs. The flipping velvet rope gets peeled apart. We go in. Oh, Mr. David, we've got a table for you. So he put us on the. Literally, there's a table like next to the dance floor here, and there was another one the other side. So they've cordoned it all up for us. We've got security. We're in there all night. Free tab. We had an absolute bang of a night. I won't say too much more because I could get a few people in trouble. But it was fantastic. So none of them were any of the wiser. Got back in the limo, got out there, and that was my night as Craig David. So yeah,
Craig David turned up. They put him in the corner.
Yeah,
exactly.
He was on my shitty table.
On the toilet.
Amazing.
Brilliant.
So obviously, you played at Old Trafford when Millwall beat Sunderland, and I don't even remember that goal, Gordon, when Tim Cahill scored for Millwall against Sunderland. It was Ives that created the goal at the time, and unfortunately, Tim Cahill took the glory, didn't he, Ives?
That's an Australian for you.
That's an Australian for you, exactly.
Not much else to shout about, have they?
Exactly.
That brings you on to what is the difference between an Australian and a yogurt? And the story went over time, a yogurt will develop a culture.
Dear me.
I've just going to use that one in the next bar in New Zealand.
I'll steal that.
Next time I speak to Timmy in his WhatsApp group, he'll mention that to you, won't you, Ives?
I like that.
So, guys, obviously, you both played for Millwall. I mean, obviously, Gordon, what did it mean to play for Millwall? You know, the fans, the people say they're very, very demanding. You played at the old end, didn't you? And I don't think it's changed much when Paul Eiffel played for Millwall. But we'd love to get your thoughts on what it meant playing in front of that Millwall crowd. What was it like? Did it help you or hinder you sometimes?
I think it helps every player when they become a pro that they want to play on the first team's ground. I think getting selected for the first match is the biggest one because you've got to go out there in front of how many people, 8, 9, 10, 12,000 people, and produce it because the fans are very, very, they'll judge you immediately on what you produce and what you do. And this is why in today's football, you're getting players saying that their first game, they go out, they play $1 million, but then they don't produce it again, and that's the shame. But when I was at Millwall, you produced it week in, week out. You knew that they were behind you all the way, and you couldn't beat the cold blow lane. And I mean the thrills and the playing side of it, just coming out that little tunnel was just. Electric, and especially when you had playing local teams like, for instance, Charlton or Orient, or having somebody from Luton try and come down, and it was different. Nowadays it's more police, but in them days the supporters from the opposite team always went up the other end from where we came out at the bottom of it. And the funny thing about it was that they always tried to, it was this thing about, let's take the Coldblow Lane end. God knows, I'm standing on the field listening to this, and the chanting of the Luton supporters up one end, and then you got the Coldblow Lane end waiting, and in fact 3 sides waiting for them to come on the field. I'm on the field, I'm standing next to the referee, and then all of a sudden Luton jump over the fence. This is during the game, and leg it down to the far end of the stadium. Well, we didn't think anything about it, but all the next thing I know was they got a couple of horse police there, police horsemen, and these horses have come on the field, and then they're chasing these Luton supporters off the field with these horses. And I'm standing on the side there just looking left, and I'm going, what's happening here, ref? And then he turned to me and then all you hear was, you're not going to take our end. You're not. And it was like,
wow.
And
that's what it meant.
It meant so much. It meant so much. I had people, I had players jumping, or I had supporters jumping over the fence to try and have a go at somebody because they kicked me.
Wow. The Mill fans will try to protect you. Yeah, unbelievable. Gordon, that's Darren Ward, Darren, is your Wi-Fi working now? Is all good?
I think I'm there. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you absolutely fine. So Gordon,
yes.
So Gordon, this is Darren Ward had 2 stints at Millwall. He had the first stint when Paul Eiffel played in the early 2000s sort of period,
right?
And then he left and he come back again for a second stint. But both these guys played against your old team, Man United, in the 2004 Cup final. Unfortunately, Ives was a little bit injured. Was you there? Was you at the time? Who was you supporting, Millwall, Man United?
Well, funny enough, I got some seats that half was on the left was United and half on the right was Millwall.
Oh, was it?
I couldn't go wrong. And of course, like Dennis Wise was out there as well, and all that.
Yeah.
And I just sat there and they said, who are you supporting? And I just turned and I said, whoever wins. If I'd have said something to the right, I'd have been whacked. If I said something to the right, I would have been whacked again. So I couldn't win for losing. So I just sat there and shut my trap.
Yeah. Darren, I was explaining to Paul, I think you didn't hear us. So Gordon played for Millwall back in the early 70s. He was a record transfer sell to Man United for 125,000 back then. And he was like Ryan Giggs back in those days. No exaggeration. If you look at YouTube, Gordon Hill.
Well, hold on. Ryan Giggs was like me.
Ryan Giggs was like him.
Thank you.
Ryan Giggs was like him. And they used to call him Merlin. That was his nickname. So the Man United fans love him today. Millwall fans, especially like of Disco Steve over there. Disco. You remember Merlin? That you back in the day, Disco?
Oh yeah, great player. I said when he came on our show earlier this year, cried my eyes out when Man United stole him from us. It
weren't me. It was the bank.
I didn't blame you, Gordon. I didn't blame you. It was Tommy Docherty who fell out with him.
The bank that said they got to sell me. They need the money. The club needed the money.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Ives and Darren had similar conversations, didn't you,
I know
boys?
you feel. Yeah, I know you feel.
They were sold because of money. It's always the same thing. Our best players had to go, and they forced them to sell them, didn't they?
Yeah, it's a shame.
And look, they've come back because we're so wonderful. That's all it is. It's about the heart. It's not about the money. It's about the heart, and that's why
they do it for free. They do it for free if they could.
Top guys.
Yeah, I did it for free.
I know, virtually. Yeah. Incredible sort of era. So Wardy played. Ives got injured in that game, didn't you? In the final, Ives, because you're still carrying that groin.
No. I played.
In the final.
No, I played 90. You probably forgot because I didn't touch the ball much, but I was
No one did.
No, I was going to say no one did.
No.
We just want Man United to run rings.
Yeah.
You did for some reason.
It was a good day.
I might think of Sunderland. You going off? That's why, wasn't it?
No, Sunderland went off after about half an hour. Like I said, just after the goal.
Can I ask you a question,
between the semi and the final. I didn't play much, and then actually Wardy probably remember this. It's quite funny. So I'd come back. I think I missed maybe the next 2 games, and then I played in the game and I was absolutely shit. And Wisey dropped me, and I think it was away at Walsall, away at Rotherham, and he brought me off the bench, and I hit this sort of scissor kick volley, and it was going and it hit Wardy's arse. No, honestly, it went in there. It'll tear. Wardy ran off celebrating, and I remember I was going like, "Fuck off, that's my fucking goal." and I ran up to and I ran up to Wise on the bench and said, "Yeah, there you go. You got to get me back in the team."
Yeah, and, get me on.
Can I ask you a question? Was you playing when they brought out the substitution where they put your number up?
Yeah.
That was the type, just because I was playing where the referees just said, get off, because they called you off. There was nothing there. And I remember the first time they introduced it, I was at Wembley. I forget who I think it was Southampton. And we lost that 1-0. And about 10, 15 minutes, you didn't want to come off the field, did you? You just, if your card went up, you thought it was a mistake.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see a card. And this was the first time they introduced the cards at Wembley. And I'm sitting there, I'm on the field, and then all of a sudden, this card comes out, number 11. And we were losing 1-0 to Southampton. And all of a sudden, the card goes up, and I'm looking across. Now, it's packed house at Wembley. I've got to now go from one side to the other side to get off the field, which in them days, you didn't want to be subbed. Nowadays, it's common. But in them days, I did not want to get off the field. So what happens was, I run over and I look at the cards because I'd never seen them before. And I looked at this and I looked at the cards and I went to the boss, to Tommy. I went, what, me? And he went, no, the whole fucking team. I've never been introduced to the card system.
There you go. Back in the day.
Excuse my French, my love. I didn't mean to speak, but I tell you what, I just laughed, sat down, and
Brilliant.
I was lucky. We came back the following year and beat Liverpool. But that's a lovely day. But. Yeah. Couldn't have got it if I hadn't got me grooming at Millwall at the beginning with Harry Kitchener.
Yeah. Kitchener, what a team they were back in the day. I don't remember that, but I hear stories of that era. Wardy, when you played in the final, who was you marking against Man United?
It was Van Nistelrooy up front, wasn't it? I think by himself. Yeah.
Was he like?
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Good player. But it's one of them where I was at my prime as well. I think that was right in the middle of my prime. I personally, I know you're a fantastic player, scored loads of goals, but he wasn't a problem for me at all. He wasn't a problem, and that was my. We had so much against us in that game. I we had so many injuries. People, with niggly injuries, it was always going to be a tough one, but. You have to look at the positives, and where I was personally, a personal positive is that I wanted to test myself up against the best, and I knew I wasn't probably going to get any better than where I was at, unless I moved on maybe to a bigger club, maybe in the Prem, and I was kind of thinking, right, well, I just want to test myself against a fantastic player, and I thought both myself and Matty handled him well. I know he scored 2, a penalty, which is debatable, and it was one of them that I felt comfortable. Yes, a good player, but no way near out of my reach. It's just when I'm looking over to my left with Robbie Ryan against Ronaldo, and then Marvin Elliott against Gibbs on the left hand side. That was probably more where the danger was going to come from, because that they were up against 2 again fantastic players. So it was a good player for Nistelrooy, but not.
Darren, I was just delighted you got through, mate. I really was. I was absolutely chuffed to pieces, because we tried. I mean, the FA Cup is still the most competitive domestic cup, the best in the world, And to actually get to the final, you guys, I remember I was sitting there, and I just said I was sitting amongst both United and I was chuffed inside more than anything else to be sitting there and said, tell you what, I'd love to see an upset, because the FA Cup throws so many. So many of them. Sunderland goes through and beats a big one. Southampton beat us. We beat Liverpool, who were going for 4 trophies at that time. I think it was great when you come out and see little Ernie Wise on the sidelines doing his business, and it was great. And so we were I was just chuffed to pieces that I was sitting there, and I had a chance to talk to the Millwall supporters and the United supporter, and it was camaraderie. It wasn't, "Oh, we're going to kick your ass." It was a case of like, "This is Wembley. Enjoy the game, and the best team wins."
Mutual respect, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you had respect for players. When the boys will tell you, the players there will tell you that when you step off the field, I'll buy you a pint. You step on the field, I'll kick your ass. And that's the way it was in football. That's the way it was. You didn't mean anything. And that's what's happening. And now
it's changed now, football, isn't it?
I'm not seeing it. I don't like it.
We see it now, Gordon. Even with Millwall players today, like football's changed. Like just the game against Blackburn. One of our players, knocked one of their players down, and he's picking the player up while the game's still continuing. What's that about? It's just different mindsets.
But that isn't that, don't you? That has become the game today.
Yeah.
I mean, in my day, the referee would warn the defender. He'd have a good wallop at me, hit me, and then he'll go up and say, "You do that again," and then they would put that player at the back and then send another one to wallop me, because he would be able to get away with it as well.
It's where they used to stop you, didn't they? Yeah, a bit like Ives. You had the same experience, didn't you, Ives, on the wing? The amount of times you used to get kicked.
He's facing exactly the same as any striker would, because that's what you did in them days. You're not now where you tread on their artificial boots and they fall over and they've got an Oscar straight away for falling, and then the referee turns around and he gives a yellow card. I mean, you got absolutely floored by your own team if you went down and they knew you had you went down falsely. And I've had it many a time when you get whacked and they say it's nothing. Don't let them see you hurt. Go on, get up, and get on with it, and stop. Excuse my French again. Stop fucking acting. You turn around like your legs around your neck, and you're in them days you weren't acting. You had to fucking pick your leg up. And they got two bites at you, and they'd send somebody else. But if they knew that if they hit the good players, it's like get him in the first couple of minutes. If you whack him hard in the first couple of minutes, he'll be looking over his shoulder for the rest of the game. And that's how you put the big good strikers off the game. If you give them a goal, and I tell you what, their confidence went through the roof. They're going to get another one. We're seeing it now with Haaland. You give him one, he'll go for 2. You don't give him any, he struggles.
Yeah. Talk about giving each other something. Is it a true story? Why you got you together, Darren and Paul? Tell us about the old boxing gym. Like, why is he organised? Is it true? Is it a myth? Did it actually happen? Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll start because Wardy was actually
tell Gordon, because Gordon
he's okay. So again, under Dennis Wise, we do quite a lot of things for camaraderie. And Wise will come in one day and he goes, right, tomorrow we're going to a boxing gym. We're gonna go through all the paces. We're gonna do some work with the guys. You're gonna be sparring with some world champs, and you're gonna be doing your skipping and your all sorts of different work. We're doing all our bits and pieces. Then at the end, he said, "Well, we're going to put you in your weight categories, and you're gonna go in for a couple of rounds, right?" So Timmy went in with Wisey and absolutely boxed his head off, which was quite funny. Dave Livermore went in with Kevin Braniff, and Braniff, we didn't know Braniff had boxed. Braniff absolutely whacked him all over the place.
Wow.
And then somehow I'm in with Wardy, who was about flipping 2 stone heavier than me, by the way. And a few inches.
About 6 foot 6.
But hold on. But I didn't know Wardy had boxed, right? So anyway, Wardy was actually being nice. He was like, just take it easy. Just take it easy. He's throwing a few jabs, keep me away with his reach. And I thought, this is a bit boring. So I've gone wallop, give him one on the chin. And you can see straight away, he's like, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. It was a bad mistake from my part. Bloody hell! He started picking me off.
Really?
He's hit me with this uppercut, right? My gum shield has flown out of my mouth. I've never boxed before, so I go after the gum shield with my gloves on and try and pick the fuck up. As I'm going to grab it, he gets me again, an absolute perler. So I'm like, no, stop, hold on. Get the gum shield back in, and then I don't know, maybe about a minute left. I didn't get near him after that. He's just boxing my head off.
Oh,
so we come out. Like I said, I've got no idea he's boxed. And then I remember, I don't know if he remembers this, quite funny. I was going in with Matty, because Matty used to drive me, because I never used to be able to drive. And honestly, I'm on the M25, and I had my head out of the window trying to get as much air into my body as I rang Wardy. I rang him. I said, fucking hell. I said, tell me you've got a headache. And he's like, oh, I'm not too bad. I used to box a little bit. I said,
is that true, Darren? Yeah.
It was a good lesson. It was a good lesson for me, I have to say.
Is that Darren?
You know what, guys? It was just a fantastic experience, wasn't it? You look back and you think that would never happen again, would it? And yeah, it was one of them. You know, it was actually after a weekend out. I was out on a Saturday. I'd come in. It was a Monday morning, and I still wasn't feeling great. I said, "Oh, just take it easy, you know. Just take it easy, you know. We've got a long week ahead." And I think it was one of them. Everyone's like kind of geeing each other on the side, going a little bit crazy, and in the ring you can at times get a little bit excited. I do remember when the gum shield come out, because I was like, all right, come on, just take it easy, take it easy. You were trying to have a pop. I thought, I've got to leave one on you as you're on your way down. And I just remember running around the ring and the guys are going crazy, but I must say, it's just an amazing experience for everyone.
Isn't it funny?
To see what
hey,
brilliant.
Like Wardy there, and I talking about it maybe 10, 15 years after I was at the club, and yet the camaraderie that was that someone like Wisey thinking it up, and then saying, well, let's get together, and like you're getting all that out your system. When I was there, we had Gordon Jago who loved running, and he got us a big box one day. We went in on a Monday, and we were going to go to Crystal Palace, where we trained at and it had that new that tartan track, and there was I forget, it was Wyn Davis, I think, or Lynn Davis, was the hurdles champion, right? The world champion. And Jago said, for camaraderie and all this, what we're doing is we're going to go. So the guy brought in a big box, and he opened this box up, and there was spikes. There was running spikes on it. And I tell you what, we'd never had put a pair of spikes on in our lives. And we're at this Crystal Palace, brand new tartan turf with these great big spikes. And they said, right, and he was a hurdler. And of course, he was trying to teach us to get our feet up off the floor, so to speak. Well, footballers only lift their foot up about an inch, 2 inches off the floor when they're running. Well, we were getting in twos, going round the track. We were spiking the player in front because we were falling. We were putting the spikes down and running. And at the end of the training session, we'd done this training session, and he ran us into the ground. And we thought we were going to go to the Olympics. So we give it on as it happened. We turned at the end of it, said to Gordon Jago, said, boss, is he for real? Are we going in the Olympics, or are we playing a game? And he says, I see what's happened. Well, we're running around the track, and we're we had 5 injuries. with players absolutely treading into the tartan track and slipping arse over tit. And I tell you what, we went absolutely all over the place with this. And then at the end of it, Spikes went back into the box. And you can imagine Harry Cripps with a pair of spikes. Those spikes, I tell you what, they went straight to the rubbish bin. And who sets the spikes? They went to the rubbish bin, and Jago said, "Well, that was camaraderie." He said, "That brought you together." He said, "Brought you together." I said, "It's like a game of fucking darts." and that was it. And
Gordon, I found some footage here for you, Gordon. I'm going to embarrass you a little bit here, mate. Just give us 1 second. Just going to show you something here. I don't know if guys you can see this at all. Can you see that?
No, say no, guys.
Coming up now. Yeah.
The corner.
Yeah.
Up the hill. Yes! Off the hill. That's his first home goal. Done it all. Here's Hill. And that was close at all. And he's right back on the target. Gordon Hill. Pearson playing it wide. Lost it along the goal. And it's there. Hill! Tremendous save. Hill again. Goal! It's Hill made it two. Hill! Brilliant this goal. Hill! Peterborough caught again. Shooted away by Turner. Hill! 3-1. Undone and ran away. Maybe it's the hill. Hill's cross is a good one. Pearson. Lovely goal. Hill.
Through the mark for Manchester United.
Resist. It's to yourself. You have to. Pearson is the man that Hill is aiming for. The superb ball. Wait for the return and flicked it up. It's gone through to Hill for a shot. 2-0. Hill trying to count it and does. Gordon Hill. Total noise from behind Graham Moses' goal. And Hill, it was deflected. Gordon Hill's second goal. And all around the ground now, all you can see is red and white for Manchester United. And there's the happiest Londoner that ever went to Manchester. Gordon Hill, 2 goals. And Gordon.
That's incredible. Well done, Gordon.
Now you know why I cried, you see?
Yeah.
I cried as well because that semi-final, I was watching the kid up in the tree, and when I scored, he let go of the tree and fell out of it.
So you can see what I mean, though, Disco. Paul Eiffel was like a similar sort of player, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Would you
We've been
agree?
blessed, haven't we, really, over the years? We've been very lucky. Some great players.
We have some really good wingers and some quality defenders like Darren as well.
Yeah.
I think Stephen's got a question for Waldy, hasn't he?
So I missed that last question, guys. Yeah, my Wi-Fi was all over the place.
That's right. Go Stato.
If I can, Darren, I listened to your podcast you did with the club, and you spoke about the standards that you had and what you wanted to be a winner, which I think we all knew. I don't know if you're aware of this, but you're actually one of only 3 players that have won consecutive Player of the Seasons at Millwall. So not many people do that, and I know it's not the same as winning a trophy, but do you take pride that you're a player to achieve that, and what does it actually mean for a player to win Player of the Season at a football club?
Yeah, it meant an incredible amount to me. When you put the work in, as I did as a player, looking back, some of the things I used to do, the commitment and discipline was through the roof, and it makes me laugh now because you know, my life's so different, you know, and what commitment I gave to football over the 20-year period I was a pro. I you know, you feel really proud of that, what you did, especially for a club like Millwall, where I had some fantastic times, played with some brilliant players like Ice, you know. I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I'm a massive fan of Ice as a player, and he was one of the reasons why, amongst the young crop of players there, that I joined the club, because I always kept an eye on me, growing up through the ranks of Watford, where I had a lot of different options to sign for a number of different clubs, and that was the lure. So to come and give my all at a club like Millwall, as I did, to get player of the season 2 years in a row was, a real proud moment. But you know, I would have swapped that all day long to get promoted. That was number one for me. I was so desperate to get promoted with the club, you know, it just didn't happen. But yeah, a nice achievement.
I mean, I said to Paul earlier that for me, you were the team that I grew up watching. So I think when you say, and I've listened to you and other members of the squad say that you'd give up everything to achieve promotion, I think a lot of us would have. But I think we look back now, I certainly look back and look at that team. I don't think we'll see many players as good for our club collectively as an 11 that we had back then, and I think we appreciate it more now than what we did at the time. So thank you for your time.
No, I agree. You know what, as well, I think when I joined the club, I didn't realise how good they were, you know, until you start playing, and that's something you learn as a player, especially as you got older in the game, that you never know how good a player is until you actually play with them, you know, and you see the standards and the maturity, although every day was just different. It really was. It had so many ins and outs and jokes, and it was fantastic to be around. But when it comes to match day, the maturity at such an early age that so many of these young players have was, I was blown away by it, especially coming from a background like Graham Taylor, who's very professional, and you know, he's done things in a certain way that it was a real privilege to see and experience as a player.
It's a great time back in those days. Like for me, like Statter, you were a bit of a fanboy, weren't you? As you say, and you know, Eiffel was one of your favourite players, and yeah, it meant a lot for youngsters growing up. For me, I was similar age to Paul, and it was lovely because I got to know a few of the boys. And Timmy, we used to go out to Timmy's quite a bit after Saturday games and mess about and play pool, whatever. And what I got to know was what a great bunch of lads there were. The camaraderie you guys had, the jokes, the banter you used to have amongst yourselves. But it was such a tight unit. Now, I'm pretty sure that they'll say every team has that dressing room and they're all close. But I don't know. I just thought you boys were unique. Like the respect you had for each other. You used to slag, banter each other so bad, but you would go in the trenches for each other as well. So you end up, do you know what I mean? It's that kind of like brotherhood you had. And it's just so good to see throughout the team. It was such a strong bond. And I think, as much as you guys were so good and you're quality players, I think that togetherness you had, that team spirit you had, is what made you guys so successful through those eras, I think, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys would agree or not, you know?
Yeah, personally, I thought, you know, I was so desperate to get promoted because I looked around, I thought, I'll tell you what, how we're all progressing. You know, I obviously come from Watford myself, and there was some other good signings there at the time that you look around and you think, if we get to the Prem, how we can progress, and every single game is that step closer to gaining more experience and becoming better players. That who knows what could have happened, but from the amount of players that moved on, that goes to show the quality. You know, once Theo kind of hung his hat up and he wanted out, you know, straight away there was a number of players on that transfer list, and the club knew they could get some money from. It was just a shame, wasn't it? It was a shame that it didn't happen. But hey, whilst we were there, at least to get to the FA Cup final, that was just
amazing. Amazing, guys. A question to both of you, really. A lot of people ask fans, how does that team of 2004 compare to today's team? I don't know whether you watch much what goes on with our team at the moment, but do you reckon your team would have beaten today's Millwall side? I mean, obviously football's evolved a little bit, but how they compare? I mean, you guys were touching on the Premier League, and if it wasn't for the FA Cup run, perhaps who knows what could have happened. But how does that team compared to today's team, in your opinion? And you can be as biased as you want.
It's really tough to compare eras, to be honest. I really think it's difficult to compare eras. I think, the boys these days are so fit and so strong. It's the game's just moved on. Really, it really has, and it does sort of every 15, 20 years. But in terms of ability, I think Wardy's right in what he says. I think so many of us went on from that team to play in the Premier League. I only played for that half season, so I'm not going to try and claim I'm a Premier League player or anything like that. But
you still play for Premier League.
No, I know, but I think a lot of them, like your Timmies and your Reedies, Tony Warner. There was a lot of guys that went
Lucas
on and
Neal
played in the Premier League. I don't think this group have done that yet. I think you can judge this group in 10 years' time. If they make it to the Premier League, then I think they would have beaten us. If they don't, maybe it's another case of what might have been. We were ever so close. A lot will depend on what happens over the next couple of years. Do we keep knocking on the door? Is the club going to put some more money in and strengthen? When we're close. At the moment, they're so close, but can we just get across the line? And there's a little bit of a blip at the moment. But this Christmas period, you know what it's like. If you can manage the Christmas period well, and then go into the new year on the back of a bit of momentum, there's you win your home games, you get a few draws away, you'll find yourself in the playoff for sure.
That's right. It's that run, isn't it? Keeping that consistency. I think our problem at the moment is injuries. I mean, I know you guys used to have a lot of injuries back in your days as well, but I think, as you say, Paul, football there's a big demand. There's a lot of running at the moment. I think Mourinho kind of created this thing where when you defend, you got to get behind the ball. When you attack, you got to push up as a team. There's a lot of like back and forth. And midfielders in particular are working really hard at the moment. So that's why we've got so many midfielders out injured. There's a lot of.
I think that's also where the game's gone a little bit. I think I look at it from my time. For the most part, I had Matt Lawrence as a right back, and I always remember Matty would say to me, "Ives, you do your thing up there." He said, "If I need you, I'll give you a shout. But if I don't, I'll deal with it. I'll get Wardy across, or I'll get Nevers across, whoever it was, and we'll deal with the winger. But when you get it, you've got to do the business going the other way. And I think you're right. I think today's winger, you're almost a wing back.
Yeah,
the defensive,
you're right.
The defensive stuff is just as important as the attacking. So it definitely wouldn't have suited me if you saw them out.
Paul used to have this. Remember Wardy? Paul used to have this kind of like limp walk, didn't he? Like like his butts. Like at the end of the game, he'd be like blowing, wouldn't he? But bless him, he would just carry on running. Even when you were knackered, you would like be running. Like, you'd probably blow a gasket, but you'd be still going, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? Like,
only one way. Only one way, though.
Only one way. Only one way. Quality. Yes. Guys, listen, we could talk to you all night. Honestly, we'll be going live now at 7 p.m. So it's now 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is unbelievable. I've enjoyed every single moment of it. It's a shame about Wes Reed there. We lost him, unfortunately. But we had Forde on, which is great. We've had John Goodman on, telling us stories about him and Telly showing them play up front together. We had Casper's dad on there. Ronnie Ball was going to come on, but he's in Centre Park, so his family at the moment, his missus won't let him. So
he's watching it already.
Yeah,
probably hasn't got any Wi-Fi anyway.
Nothing changes with Bully.
Nothing changes, mate. He's always under the thumb when it comes to the women, isn't he? And Gary Alexander come on as well, and he talked about his goal at Wembley, which was an iconic one for us. And thank you, Gordon Hill, for coming on, mate. Gordon, really do appreciate you. Absolute legend. Bless you. You coming over to the UK, Gordon, next year?
Yeah, I hope to be bringing an under-13 boys team over just to show them really the culture and show them what it is, Unfortunately, living in the States, very big country, and you're bringing them to a place where I was born, bred, played my football, and he came out here and went, holy shit, it's a big place. And people don't realize that the States, you could get England and drop it into Lake Michigan and it wouldn't touch the sides.
Wow.
That's how big
Incredible.
This place is. And it's but I'm still coaching, still doing the job, still love developing young players. And that's and of course these guys are much younger than me, but it's great watching them, seeing them come through and seeing new blood. I just very disappointed with the football I'm watching nowadays because, as you've just said, Ice, it's you need to be an athlete now. And to me, I've always been. I want a footballer with an athlete in him,
Yeah.
not an athlete.
Yeah. The other way around.
With a footballer in it, yeah. Because as you said, you were talking earlier. If if the 100-meter champion, can run 10 second 100 yards, but takes him 10 minutes to run with a ball.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that. But unfortunately, I look at it nowadays, and you're right. It's the strength, it's the size, it's how big you are, how strong you are, the finesse, and the
skill.
The game is being taken away.
Yeah.
Well, I feel. I don't know what the guys feel, but I feel as though it's been taken away, and so I don't. It's not my cup. It's not my world now.
Yeah, I get completely, Gordon. Gordon, we have to end the live soon, but just very quickly, what was it like playing with Pele? You played in the All-Star team, didn't you, with Pele? I mean, just talk us through that. I'd love to know what it was like to play with.
Well, having played with a lot of them, I mean, you're talking Pele, you're talking Zico, you're talking the top players in their countries. They're just like all these guys that I'm talking to now, all them former players. They're players that want to produce and do the best, but they want to be able to be with you. They want to talk. They want to help you. And Pele was no different, when I played in that, and I played with him, and I played in his tournament in Rio, and I played in Florida with it in his tournament. He was very humble. Didn't speak much English, but I tell you what was always nice, and you couldn't hide what he did. And you're talking about legends, Rivellino, who had what I thought was one of the best left foots I've ever seen. And yet you're talking to them, and they're ordinary people that just want to be ordinary and talk to you. And it's great when I'm talking to like Wardy and Icy there, and though we're maybe 15, 20 years older, it's still the same. The passion and the drive and, would you cross the road to speak to him? Of course I would. Would I play him on a field? Yes. I'll buy him a pint off the field, but on the field, it's fucking business.
Bless you, Gordon. Gordon, thank you so much. Have a lovely Christmas.
Gordon, could Norman Wisdom just wish all our listeners a Merry Christmas?
I haven't done that for flipping ages, me. I haven't done it for freaking donkey
Come on.
shit. Mr. Quimsale.
Brilliant. Cheers, Gordon, aka Merlin.
Thanks a lot. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Wardy.
It's only 12 o'clock here.
Is it?
Midday. So I'm going to have a pint.
Enjoy your beer. Enjoy your beer.
Thanks
Wardy,
very much. Take care.
Cheers, Gordon. Take care, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oops, is he gone? He's gone. Wardy, what are you up to at the moment? Just very quick before we wrap up. You're coaching at the moment. Do you want to promote your company? What you're doing, your coaching stuff at the moment?
Yeah, we run a soccer school, DW Soccer School. We coach between about 600 and 700 players a week. This is why I'm just so busy and all left, right, and centre with it. We started it up just before COVID. Obviously, thought, what have we done? Got over COVID, and it's just gone crazy. So the plan was to get back into the game and get back into the professional scene. I've got my licenses, well, a license at the minute. You can't get a pro unless you're with a professional outfit. But then this kind of took over. We have 3 children who are all into sport. Our oldest is looking to hopefully make that step into the professional scene. I'm just with our daughter now, who's a very high level swimmer. She's just knocking on the door for national times, which she'll get.
That's good.
And our youngest is no child syndrome, just running after everyone, thinking he can do everything. So big commitments, big commitments. I do miss the professional scene dearly. I don't really do a lot nowadays. I'm just so busy with stuff. I'm quite elusive as a guy. Probably as a player, a lot of people probably say the same. I used to go in, get the job done and off. But that was part of the professionalism, to be honest, to go and race and do things properly. But yeah, I enjoy my life. I enjoy our life at the minute as a family, and big commitments. I'm from a big family, so we have a lot of commitments all across the board. But never say never. You know, I've not written stepping back in one day. Although I am 47 now, believe it or not. And we talk about things that happened 20 years ago, but who knows with me? Never say never.
Oh, good stuff. We'll hopefully see you down the Den one day soon, Wardy. Cheers for coming on. I know it was a little bit last minute, but I appreciate it anyway. And good luck with the business as well. We'll leave it off with Ives. Thanks, mate. Ives, before we go, there is something I want to share just very, very, very quickly. So, as you know, everything we make for this channel goes to Cancer Research UK. So, since the beginning of last year, we have now raised, if I could bring the total up, over £18,000. And this is through YouTube, through Spotify, through bucket collections, through donations from the lovely listeners. So the listeners that watch us will regularly donate to the channel as well. And we've raised over £18,000, which is incredible. It's fantastic. And the Mill community, the Mill fan base, you know what they're like. You know, when it comes to charity, they do put their hands in their pockets. So I really do appreciate it. Ives, if you could check your WhatsApp, I've just sent you a message. Now, Chris has asked, could you make an announcement for us? But he specifically asked you to do it. So I don't know if you can see it at all.
Hold on.
While he's just looking for that, can I just say that the 2014 would absolutely walk the park with our team at the moment?
Hey, there you go. Someone said
there's no I'm not having the best way to look at it is could our team today play play football how it was back then? I don't think they could, but I think that team then could play in today's game, and I think that's the best way to describe it. But I had to say that because there's just no comparison. I'm sorry, there's not.
I think I'm in agreement. Would you agree, TT? Let's go.
Well, it depends which team we're talking about, because the team at the moment is that like 7 or 8 injuries. So, but no, I think that 2014 was unbelievable. Like I said, the question for me though is Crammer the beautiful Crammer. Is he better than prime Darren Ward in terms of how good looking he is? Like, so
back in the day, I'll tell you. I was a good-looking boy back in the day. My missus, my wife,
like Craig Davids,
who was my girlfriend at the time. She's a fancy Darren as well. They called him the Peckham Beckham. He had these blonde, bleached hair, didn't you? Long hair with the old mullet.
I don't know where that's gone.
Honestly, they were good-looking boys back in the day.
A good-looking team.
Yeah, will Crammer age the way
Tristan Crammer.
Darren Ward has. That's all he's got to aim for, really. Forget about the accolades and what he wants to do in football. Can he age as well as Mr. Ward? That's
exactly. At 47, he's doing really well. How old are you, Ives?
Not bad.
I'm 46.
46. There you go. So they're doing really well for their age, aren't they? You know. So fantastic.
I'll take that.
Have you got the message, Ives?
Okay. Yeah. So just read it out verbatim. Yeah.
Yeah, go on, mate. Okay.
6th of April, Millwall versus Norwich. Chat with Chaps, in collaboration with Cancer Research, will be hosting a fundraising day before kick-off at the Den. This is a massive milestone, and a huge thank you to the club for supporting Chat with Chaps for the second consecutive season. Stay tuned, more details to come.
There you go. And there's our little thing. So Millwall versus Norwich, guys, Monday 6th of April. We'll be doing signed shirts, and everything we make will go to the charity. So if you see the collection buckets and all that going on, please make sure you donate generously to our cause. Ives, just last words from you, mate. Anything you want to say to Millwall fans before we kind of say goodbye?
Oh, look, it's just get behind the team. I don't really need to say that. You always do anyway. But just, that last push, this period's massive. Like I said, if you can get through Christmas and you're still in the mix, that top 4, top 6, then you need a little bit of momentum going. You either want to be pushing for that top 2, which I think is going to be difficult, but making sure you take momentum into the playoffs. Because I look back at the failed playoffs we unfortunately had, and I think I'd love to have done that all again. I think if you can go into that with momentum, then who knows? Like the thought of Millwall in the Prem would be fucking unbelievable. Excuse my language.
Could you imagine it?
The Premier League wouldn't know what's about to happen. It's unbelievable. So. Looking forward to it. I might see you all. I'm likely to be at the last home game of the season.
Brilliant.
I'm just trying to sort out flights at the moment. With a bit of luck, I'll be there.
Let us know once you've got your dates confirmed. We'll definitely we'll meet up before.
Yeah,
hopefully
I'm hopeful.
we might even get Darren come up across the water and come down for a game for a change, eh, Darren?
I'd love to.
When's last time you've gone past the River Thames?
Oh my days! You know, it's where I am now. I'm North Parts, Hertfordshire, so it's not too far, but the traffic, what it brings, is just a nightmare. It really is. Honestly,
you're making an effort if Ives comes down, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, I've said if something can happen with a few of the guys, absolutely. But I've got a plan. We've got a lot of kind of dates in the diary. I've got a plan way ahead. So now I know that date, I'll try to keep that diary clear. But yeah, absolutely. If I can do my part and play my part,
brilliant.
It'd be my pleasure.
Excellent. We'll try and get a few of the old boys together. It'd be good to see you all. Anything you want to say to the Mill fans, Darren, before we wrap up?
Yeah, like I've said, just reinforcing it. Just get your heads down, guys. Focus on your next game. Don't think too far ahead. You know, I see recently, obviously, you're hitting top twos. You don't think too much. You just got to keep focusing every single day. You know, every day of training, every day of game. Unfortunately, and it's hard. You know, easier said than done, right? You're thinking about all the wonderful things that can present itself to you. You know, being in the Prem. You know, winning the league. All these different things, and you really can't think about it, guys. You just have to focus every single day, every day of training. How can I better myself? Individually and as a team, and then go into each game full focus on that game only.
Great advice.
Which again is easier said than done.
Cheers, Darren. That's great advice. And cheers, Ives. Sorry, TT. Do you want to say something before we go, TT?
Yeah, did we? Has anyone told Ives that the only reason he got to read out the message because he was the only one that had good internet connection? We were relying on you there, Ives. Like, honestly,
I tell you what,
that was a worry.
Wi-Fi in New Zealand is quality.
I knew there was an ulterior motive.
Yeah. Good stuff. So TT and Zach, thanks for coming on, guys. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for being on. Stato, thank you so much, mate. Hopefully you got to speak to the 2004 boys. I know you're a big fan of them, weren't you? Lovely Beex, thank you for being on tonight. Thank you for being patient and sort out all the graphics and all that stuff you do for us. And Disco Steve, obviously your boyhood hero Merlin was on as well, weren't he? So I'm sure you're happy to see him, as you were to see Ives and Darren Ward, of course, and Gary Exar and a few of the other boys. So, guys, thank you so much to our listeners. Thank you so much for over 670 odd on the live, which is incredible. It's astonishing. And thank you so much for everything you do for us. We will be back next week. Enjoy your Christmas.
Joe, sorry, mate. Joe, sorry, but a couple of big donations have come in. I don't know if you've seen while we've been on from guys there. Really appreciate it.
Wow.
Absolutely
so, Alex,
fantastic.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Fantastic. Oh, mate, that's great. 50 from Andy Roberts as well. Bless you, guys.
That'll be Darren and Paul being on as well.
Yeah, well,
I'll
send something.
You guys, and there's a few more donations earlier I can see. So incredible, guys. So kind of you. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Christmas with your family, loved ones, and we will see you very, very soon. All the best. Take care, guys.
Merry Christmas, guys. Have a good one.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
We got there.
Steve, we're still live, mate. It still says we're live. Yeah, so we're still going. Merry Christmas, guys.
Right.
This is another blooper, but Merry Christmas from.
See you next show. Cheers, Steph.